We beeline to the house. He goes to the front door right when we walk up. Boom! And he's like, is this the fucking guy that did it? And I'm looking and I'm like, yup. And I smoke him over the head with a tire iron. Blast this dude. It just goes whoosh. And then he kind of like stumbles and grabs me. Like he just got smoked in the head. And that's when like immediately like reality set in. I was like, oh fuck. Like I hope I didn't kill this guy. I want to know how bad this is.
Ready, dude?
Yeah, rock and roll. Hell yeah. Always ready.
I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it's fun, man. Whatever questions you got, we'll send it. We've talked a lot already, so.
We have, man. And I appreciate you coming to town and doing this. You were on my hit list because I love veteran entrepreneurs. I love guys that figure out how to change their mindset and stop being a disabled vet or just the veteran.
Yeah.
Be proud, rock it, support it, but what's after? What's next? And I feel you're crushing that. You've had your mountain peak highs, and I'm sure your valley lows.
You know?
It's so
learning.
So this is where I love sitting down with vets, man. It's one of my favorite things to do with successful guys that are even just, it doesn't even mean business. I'm talking family, whatever it may
Success
be.
is defined in multiple realms, right?
Exactly. So I don't put a number on it. It's more of freedom, personal life, growth, all that good stuff. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Again, we're going to jump into this. I got the one and only Austin here visiting from
San Diego, baby.
San Diego.
Yeah, originally from Oklahoma, but live in San Diego now, and I'll call San Diego home.
We're going to jump into that. First, the sour bee. The girls are going to send you home with a fresh loaf.
Thanks,
you can smell the house.
Of course, yes. It smelled amazing. Looks amazing.
Smells incredible in here, so we try to give every guest a fresh loaf, and it doesn't suck. You probably won't make it home to the
probably
kids.
Going to be buying more.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. So, dude, we're just going to shoot the shit, man. We've been doing since you've gotten here. This is how we do it. And I want to dive in to get to know you. I've enjoyed what time we've had so far. You're a fucking rad, dude. I feel we're pretty.
Thanks, bro.
We're pretty aligned on.
Yeah. We agree on a lot of things,
which is common, but not as common as some of the stuff we were aligned on. So
true.
Jump into it. Where are you from?
So I was born in Kansas. I grew up in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma boy.
So my folks moved when I was 8. Yeah.
And that's where it was.
So I grew up in Oklahoma, man.
What is Oklahoma? I hear so many different things about Oklahoma. You have the people that love
it.
Oklahoma, and then you have the people that just
hate
it's the worst place, scummiest shithole you've ever been to.
And, you know, so how I grew up, I can't complain at all. I grew up like, I like to tell people like a traditional American life. Like riding my bike with my boys, ramping over each other, freaking baseball in the summer, baseball, freaking sports. I grew up pretty traditional. You know, the Sandlot vibes is pretty much, I grew up in the suburbs, so I wasn't in the hood, and I wasn't in like the big neighborhoods. I just grew up in the suburbs. It was fun. Had friends. You know how it was, man. You had sprinkler outside in the summer. You know, you drink. You ran cross country for high school. You stop at a house, got water from the spigot, and it was just traditional America in my mind,
out of a hose.
Yeah. Nobody knew that all the shit wasn't coming in from a hose after it baked in the sun. Who knows?
Who would have thought?
We're still fine though.
Yeah, right. We've made it. And I feel so bad now because, like, man, look what we had growing up. Our parents would drive around and look for all the bikes in the front yard.
100%. Dude, I was gone all day long. Like, I didn't want to be inside. Like, so even when video games came out, like, big time, I'd have a few buddies. We'd go play a little bit, and then we were, like, out. I did not want to be inside, man.
I don't remember eating at all in the summer.
I don't remember lunch at all. No, I would get home, and dinner would be cold because I had waited, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, my dad whistled. My dad got, like, real loud, so I could hear. I got to go fucking home, or when the street lights go off, you know?
Best time.
That's how I grew up. So
best, man. I wouldn't trade that for anything. I feel bad now because, like, we want to give that to our kids, but it's just... Like, you don't see kids playing anymore. Even in the military, I saw a huge change, like, getting out because, like, when we were just wild. Like, Libo on the weekend, gone. Now it's like, right before I got out, these kids are all sitting there playing Xbox.
No way.
Weekend. Oh, dude.
I couldn't get off base fast enough. No, could not get off base fast.
Especially in the scribe.
Oh, yeah.
Did not put you on fire watch on the weekend?
1,000%. Or even like when I was in School of Infantry, I mean, you know what is that thing called? The Pacific, the vehicle that took you, well, you were East Coast, and you didn't go through SOI, you went through MCT, right?
No, I went to MCT, but I was on Pendleton after that. I went to Parris Island and then straight to...
Yeah, they had the vans that would take you into town, and you could pay them, and like, so if you go all the way from Pendleton to PB, it was like $50, but if you went to Oceanside, it was only like $20, and like, I'd be like $50 every time, I'm getting the fucking farthest away from here, bro.
Yes, dude, we're getting out of here. Anaheim, dude. Yes,
that
was so much fun. But yeah, it all changed. So what was high school and everything like
Dude, like I said, I grew up, I was a good kid. You know, I have a younger sister. My parents are very conservative, a conservative household. Grew up going to church on Sundays, man. And, you know, my parents are still married, so they're a great example. Both my grandparents were still married up until my grandfather's passed. So very, you know, conservative Christian family values. I challenged that as I got older. You know, I was like, sure, mom and dad, you think you know what you're doing. You never partied. You never did this stuff. So once I got a little testosterone about 17s, like when I went a little more off the rails and kind of caused a complete, you know, paradigm shift for my folks, freaked them out because they're used to. So, like I said, I was just doing regular stuff, going through school, being a good kid, and then 17 years old, I quit all my sports. I was wrestling, doing cross country, doing track, and it wasn't because I didn't want to do those anymore. I wanted to get jacked, bro. I was like small, you know, I was like a little athletic kid running and stuff, and I was like, do I want to gain weight? I want to go to the gym. And so I started doing that, started eating, started lifting, and drinking. Got introduced to drinking, started hanging out with buddies that were drinking, and just really switched the crowd. And that quickly led to, you know, parties, arrests, fights, all sorts of stuff like that. So to fast forward, like at the end of high school, I graduated. I had 2 felonies and 2 misdemeanors.
No shit.
Assault with a deadly weapon, burglary 1, and then 2 of those misdemeanors were like for, what is it? Like when you tear up property and shit.
Oh, yeah. Like vandalism in a way?
Yeah.
What the hell did you get charged with a weapon for?
So essentially what had happened is I went to a party.
Over this. We're not going to blow over that.
No, I'll dive into it. I've dived into it before. So it's fucking crazy, honestly. It's just how fast things can change. For you guys watching this, like, you know, I'm sure that there's situations that you've seen where there's just that one thing that could just totally shift your life and scares you, you know, and kind of gives you a shake.
The aha moment.
Yeah. And I was going down this route. So I had gotten in a previous fight and jumped at the park, getting back at these guys, going back and forth right in front of my parents' house. My parents were like, oh my God, you're crazy. I went and got a tattoo. And in Oklahoma, for those that don't know, my first tattoo at 17, it's illegal in the state of Oklahoma up until 2006. You couldn't have tattoo shops. So you'd either go to Galveston, Texas, the boys would load up, go get some barbed wire or some shit, you know, or you could go to like somebody's house and like get like an underground tat. Of course, I got an underground tat.
That
you
is
know?
so Oklahoma.
It's so like. Oklahoma, like yeah.
Some prison tats.
Yeah, so I did. I got like a fucking nautical star on my back. You know, I'm glad I didn't get like Hep B. Seriously, looking back, dude.
Yeah, for real. Now that you spent some time in a chair, you're probably like, oh my God.
Yeah, how easy could it have been to get some shit? You know?
For real.
And so I'm doing all this. I'm trying to put shit in perspective of like how quickly I'm going from, you know, the good school kid to off the rails, you know, challenging the world. And so anyways, I go to a party. It's just a regular party. It was a mix of college people and high school people. I'm a senior in high school. Go to the house, and we're all outside up front, but then their cops would cruise through the neighborhood a couple times, so we all went inside. And I don't know everybody there. I'm with my boys and a few people we know, and then you know how house parties are, bro. You don't know everybody. College guys, college girls, and then high school people too. And to make a long story short, essentially, you know, we're all drinking and hanging out in there, and I'm talking to everybody. It's a house party, bro. Just having fun. Like, nothing's crazy going on. There's not, like, crazy drugs or anything. We're all just drinking from a keg, and everybody has cases of beer, whatnot. Yeah. Classic, right? Yeah. And some dude comes up to me, and he's like, hey, dude, did you talk to my sister? And I'm like, you know how parties are. Everybody's drunk and stupid. I'm like, fuck no, bro. And I mean, I was fighting a lot, so I was like, whatever, fuck off. You know, I don't even know who your sister is. And he's like, well, did you talk to this girl in this shirt, whatever? And I was like, I don't know. Like, kind of looked at him like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, let's talk outside. It's loud in here. And I looked at my boy. Like, if you were him, I'd be like, you know, come with me. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? I'm not an idiot.
Waiting for you.
He's waiting for me out there.
Yeah.
Sure as shit, he goes outside and he asks me again. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Mid-sentence, the dude just crow hops me and punches me in the eye.
Oh, no shit.
Doesn't knock me out, just hits me, you know. And then we go to, you know, the first things like wrestling, grab him, go to the ground. And my buddy that's with me, his friend was outside. So they start scrapping. And then we bounce. We jump the little 3-foot chain link fence. We're bouncing. Yep. And we're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, we basically got jumped. We got attacked, you know? What the hell? Mm-hmm. Well, our genius idea was to go and go to the truck that one of our other friends had drove there. Okay. We had the keys to it. And we lift the back seat up, a good old Chevy, you know, crew cab. Mm-hmm. Lift the back seat up and pull all the tire iron equipment out. Okay. So you see where it's going. Yeah. I'm like, dude, like, we're pissed. Like, nobody fucks with us. Like, we're going to bring some heat, you know? Come back. We go to the front door because we were in the back, right? We went around the house and then jumped the fence. We go back to the front door to get ready to go in. They kind of see us coming, like some other people at the party. What the hell? And then one of the other drunk dudes, you know, the guy's like, dude, don't fight. Don't
Captain
be doing
Save a Ho, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And I just smoke him right in the forearm as hard as I can with this tire iron. He's like, whack. He's like, oh my God. And then they freaking slam the doors. I start cranking the windows out of the front of this house and smashing the mirrors off the side of the cars. I'm like, get it the fuck outside. Let's go, bro. You know, bringing it on. Like, you're going to hit me. I'm going to take it. You don't know how crazy we're going to go. And so we take it to the next level. Dudes end up locking the house. We're like, fuck it. Let's go get some fucking reinforcements. We're like, let's turn it up more. It's just dumb, bro.
Yep.
Turn it up more. We go to the IHOP where our upperclassmen that had just graduated the year before are all fucking hanging out drunk. And we pick them up, and they're like, dude, let's go. They're all riled up, bro. Built a full coup out of this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Within like 30 minutes.
Within like 30 minutes, we literally went from like regular college party to Lord of the Flies.
Yep.
And so we go back to the house. What we didn't know is that they had called the cops when we blew out all the windows and caused all this mayhem.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so, right?
You guys come rolling right back.
And we come rolling, but the cops had already left, so it's like perfect timing. So they took their reports, they'd done their things. 40 minutes go by or whatever, and when we were going back, the cops weren't there anymore. But they'd already had a report. So where are the cops? The cops are like right around the corner, bro. Like just on this call.
Yeah.
And so we go, and then we beeline to the house. We park down the street. They see us coming. They shut the door. I'm assuming now, looking back, it's a long time ago, bro. But I'm assuming that the cops probably literally left like 15 minutes prior.
Okay.
And it's because the door's still cracked. They're kind of like looking at the damage outside. And they see us coming. They're like, oh, fuck, there's those guys and more.
They're coming back.
They go close the door. One of the upperclassmen I'm talking about, he was just this Indian dude, savage, freaking always drinking, partying, flip-flops like you have on right now. Didn't give a shit.
Yep.
He's like, he goes to the front door right when we walk up, boom, kicks that front door all the way open. We don't even knock, dude. He just goes, boom, kicks that thing in, looks over at me. And he's like, is this the fucking guy that did it? Like standing in the doorway. And I'm looking and I'm like, yup. And I smoke him over the head with a tire iron. Blast this dude, the one that punched me, the guy that rinsed the house, right? He's like 21, I'm 17, so big difference at the time.
Oh, for sure.
But I finally got my revenge. Yeah,
Yep.
Cranked him. And if anybody's ever seen a head bleed or any kind of wound like that, it just goes
Worst.
whoosh. And that's when like immediately like reality set in. I was like, oh fuck, like I hope I didn't kill this guy. I want to know how bad this is. But I like turn around, hand somebody the tire iron, and then he kind of like stumbles and grabs me. Like he just got smoked in the head. He's not out. He's not, but he's like what? Stunned.
Yeah.
Kind of grabs me. I already have my shirt off and shit. You know what I mean? I just ripped off my shirt before. Grab him, wrestle him around, fall on the couch in the house. The other dudes are all just standing by, like if anybody's gonna start some more shit. And then I flip him off me, get off the couch, and the door's like right where we just came in. You know, it's a smaller house, freaking, you know, college town or a college area. And I turn around, and the fucking cops, get the fuck on the ground, bro. Yeah, somebody just started dying already. Yeah, so we're all laying in the lawn, got handcuffs on our backs, rolled up. I went to Edmond PD, which is just the suburbs that I was in. I went there, then they shipped me to county, so I was in county overnight. And my dad picks me up like the next day.
How'd that go over?
Horrible, bro.
Okay, so
my
if you
dad's
grew up
like,
as a
you
conservative
are going to
dad,
be a massive piece of shit. Yeah, so the only other black sheep in the family really was like my dad's brother was kind of wild, but never had like prison background or anything. Like wild, but never got busted. Like small town wild. And then my mom's brother spent time in prison. Like so he was like the biker, like drugs, you know, and whatnot, just stupid shit all the time. Get arrested. So my mom thought like, oh my God, you're gonna be like your uncle. This is horrible. You know, getting tatted and getting thrown in jail. Like this is fucking crazy.
Oh, so here she is watching her son.
They don't know what to do, and so, you know, I'm very lucky. Like I was dating a girl at the time, and her dad was a good old boy. Was a good old boy, like kind of like respectful, like drink Bud Light, you know, work construction. But I respected him. Like you didn't fuck with him either, right? Like a country guy, ran equipment, and anyways, my folks were off the rails with it. Like they were like, you need to go to Christian school. You're doing this. They're like trying to bring it down on me, like more, which was causing way more things for me. Yeah, I'm basically more like fuck you. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, every decision I've been making lately is not the best either. So
maybe I should listen to somebody.
I had some savings. Like I had saved up some money because I had sold my truck. I mean, I was in Votech working on this piece of shit Chevy. I had like a 69 Chevy step side, like multicolored, sanding on it. Like I was a full blown, man, just a redneck kid, you know, at this point. My parents were like, she's a little off the rails.
Yep.
And so anyways, what I say about the money is because my parents were like, you're fucking paying for the attorney. Like, we'll help you if you need it, but like, you're going to have to do this. Like, they're trying to teach me some lessons.
Yeah.
And so I did. I put the deposit down 100%. Right. They bailed me out. So they did do that. And, and so anyways, I'm like, whatever. What I was getting to is the girlfriend at the time's father. My parents were like, dude, you're a fuck up. Like, they don't know what to do. Like, it's the end of the world. We're talking people that like, I never had alcohol in my house. Like, we're talking people that like, you know, very bad words were heard every once in a while. And by all means, my dad had an anger and shit, but it was like very small town, classic cliche, right?
I feel you.
Yeah, yeah. Not a lot of experiences from this side of the world from them. Very smart. My dad's fucking super smart. I love my parents. It's all come full circle, you know, big time, but 17, stupid. And so he basically told me, he's like, dude, you're not a fucking bad kid. And everybody else made me feel like a bad kid. My parents wanted me to go to church more. My parents wanted me to do this more. And I'm like, no, I don't fucking like these people at church. These people are always judging me anyway, you know, because of what I'm doing, you know, and rightfully so in some aspects. looking back as a father and a person that
I'm judging. I get why.
Yeah, I get it. At the time, I'm like, you know how it is. You're like, don't fucking judge me.
Total anarchy to the world.
Total anarchy. That was me. And so anyways, he's like, you're not a bad kid. You're just a fucking dumbass. And I was like, that was fair. Like, that was a logical answer from a man that I respected.
Makes sense.
And I was like, dude, he's fucking right. So to speed it up, essentially, I went back to work throughout these trials. I'm going to court every once in a while for this bullshit. Okay. Like,
how long did it drag out for?
Felt like forever, dude. I'll tell you one of the worst things about it, though. This is what really fucked me up. Is like after I smoked the dude in the head with the tire iron and I get arrested, I never knew anything else. I was done. Like, I went to jail and then my life went on. Right? Yeah. I don't know what happened to that guy. I don't know what happened to anything. Nobody really tells you about what happened, especially when you're blasted drunk doing stupid shit. So. Yeah, I went back to school. We were about to graduate. So I was like towards the end of our senior time in high school. And the rumor mills that went around, like I carved a name for myself
in a
because
small
of this,
town?
bro. Yeah.
100%.
And it's not like real small, but it's like a big enough small town. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In high school, dude, you just got arrested over the weekend. Everybody's told everybody that you just went to jail because you hit somebody in the head.
Yeah, you murdered somebody.
That's what went around back to me. I remember sitting in class being like, who do I call to figure out if I did kill this guy? Like, the cops could come anytime.
Oh, so nobody told you if you legit murdered a guy?
I don't know anything, bro. I went to fucking jail after I hit the guy. I'm like, maybe he has a coma. You don't know anything. Nobody like, hey, let's give Austin a report of his stupid activities.
Yeah.
So like when the rumors came around high school, I'm legit like, I would have gone to jail by now. I think this would have happened, but this is fucking crazy. So I'm getting a little fearful.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. No, that wasn't my attitude. Honestly, I'm like, dude, life's over, bro. Like, I'm 17 and then this is it.
For sure.
I mean, that sucks.
For sure.
But that's how easy it could have changed, you know? I know so many people that like would get into car accidents and kill their buddy on accident, a DUI, and they're getting fucking vehicular homicide for that shit. You know what I mean? Boom. Just a party. Done.
It's that quick.
Same concept.
It's that quick.
Yeah. And so anyways, I didn't end up killing the guy, obviously. I don't even know what happened to him. But I was working construction the rest of that summer. Summer kicks off, working for my dad, you know, tying rebar, pouring concrete, doing whatever it takes, framing. I would just do everything that he needed to do. My dad kind of like would put us on, him and one of his right-hand guys, he'd put us on like all the punch list stuff, you know, all the things that
he's keeping you busy.
Keeping me busy for sure. And I am very busy and it's working fine. It's good for me at this time.
Oh yeah.
They're wanting me to go to Oklahoma Christian. They're wanting me to go to a Christian school. They're wanting to like ratchet down more. And at the time I was like, I guess I'll listen. I'll give you guys credit. So I went to school at Oklahoma Christian for like a semester while I was working still. I fucking hated it, bro. It was the worst.
I bet.
I mean, it was just, there's so many fucking liars and fakes. And that's kind of what I hated about church in general. It was just full of people that were all and high and mighty and they didn't want to associate me because I was very real. I'm just am what I am, you know? And then on the weekend I would see them at the party and I was like, bitch, you're at the same fucking party as me. But on Sunday you all act all great and I'm the bad guy. And I'm like, I thought we were friends. Like, I can't be seen with you, Austin. And I'm like, you were fucking doing a keg stand with me Tuesday.
I was holding your legs up.
Yeah.
Holding your legs up at Becca's house.
That's the kind of stuff I got. I'm like, dude, these guys are all fucking liars. All these kids are liars, lying from their parents. They're doing more drugs than my friends that that I'm hanging out with. And so,
isn't that wild?
I hated that shit, man. That was bad.
It's
so fake, bro.
It's like you're judging me for being real.
Yes.
And this is just who I am. I'm not going to put a front on.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, your whole entire life, persona, act, everything is fake.
Yep.
But you're judging me because I'm real about it. I mean, that's not even. Yeah,
like
that has a lot to do with
because
the
they have this thing. Yeah,
that's just people in general.
That's people in general.
And then you get to know them. You're like, bro, you're a huge piece of shit. You're judging me.
Huge piece of shit. Every time. Yeah.
Every time.
Yep.
That's why the dudes, the realest motherfuckers, don't ever judge anybody. Like,
no,
you don't have to.
You shouldn't have. You don't have to. No.
No.
Why?
Exactly, bro. That's how I always know when I get along with somebody like, fuck that, I don't give a shit. It's like,
yeah,
you know, because if you're just real and just who you are and authentic, it doesn't matter. You start to realize not everybody's going to like being, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but they're going to know what they're getting.
100%.
And that's
it'd be the worst feeling in the world to be fake to yourself. Like, you'd be lying to yourself, bro. Can you imagine that?
I think the majority of people on social media do it because, like, you meet them
on characters
and they're just a character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many times I've met people like, yo, you're rolling through, hit me up. And then the guy getting hundreds of thousands of followers, everybody worships. And then you meet him, you're like, this dude's fucking weird.
Yes.
Nothing like anything. It's all an act. And then, so then how my mind works, I'm like, okay, you're a grown-ass adult. You're putting on an act for social media to gain attention, to monetize off. Not throwing shade on the hustle, but like, that's fucking weird to me. Why can't you just build that and be yourself? So you're telling me you have to be fake to the world in order to be liked?
Yep.
And that's where my wife's like, babe, you can't say that shit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
No, that's exactly what they do. But if you think back to, like, even into we go to high school for the most part, like, people are the same way that way. I mean, people we're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I think it's some people's nature, man. It's wild. Fake.
Yeah, and then I'm like, no time.
Nope.
No.
You can imagine not being like who you are, right? Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't fix things you don't like about yourself.
For sure.
Or, bad attributes or things that you're doing or decisions you're making, for sure. But there's no reason. I can't imagine living in a prison of like being fake. Yeah,
who you are to the core. Like, yeah, dude.
But I think that's why people are intimidated by people like you and I, is because we are genuinely confident in ourselves, and it is what it is. And so when you walk in a room, which you've done many times with people that have a lot of money or people that are doing these things and all this stuff, it's like, cool, man. Hey, nice to meet you. Cool. That guy was worth $1 billion. That's awesome. Instead of being like, oh my gosh, I got to meet this guy and that. You're like, oh no, I don't give a fuck. That's really cool. I appreciate it. Like, I'd love to be his friend if he's cool.
Yeah. Hey, let's get. Yeah,
what you got?
Don't give a shit what you got. If we can kick it and have a scar and shoot the shit for 5 hours.
Yeah, it's cooler if you're doing cool shit. Like, oh, dude, you're doing all that. That's so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people get so fixated on an image instead of being who they truly are. I think that just rabbit holes them.
Yeah.
So after your fight, after all this bullshit, where's life taking you?
Dude, so I'm basically going to get served. Like, what was coming up, I went to a few court cases and shit, and they're like, all right, they're going to make an example out of him. I was kind of leading this whole coup. And they're like, and I was 17 though. Okay. Yeah, I was 17, so I got tried as a youthful offender. This has saved me a lot because I wasn't 18 yet. I literally, that was a big deal. I didn't go to GP when I went to county. I went to the youth side.
Okay.
And so just legally they have to.
Yeah.
And so I turned 18 throughout this time period, but I'm still getting tried on the court case that I had, that took time at this place. And so they're like, yeah, you're going to spend 6 months in juvie. You're just going to do 6 months in juvie is basically all they're going to give me. And I was like, fuck. And I didn't even know how serious that was. That wasn't confirmed yet. Okay. But already during that period, I was working with that guy, like I was telling you. I was doing construction. He's like, dude, you should join the military. You should join the Marine Corps specifically is what he said to me. He's like, my dad was a Marine. Brother was a Marine. Dude couldn't join the Marines because he broke his jaw and had a steel plate in there from bull riding. And so he's like, you should join the Marines. It's the best thing for you. And I never really dove into the Marine Corps because I'd always watched the books. I always wanted to be an Army Ranger. I always wanted to jump out of airplanes. I always had this, this ODA type mindset since Rambo and whatnot,
That's just lame.
Yeah, I know, right? Like,
way better title.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't even really think about the Marines. He's like, no, look at it. Look into it. And I start looking it up. He's like, the best uniforms are the most badass. What he's selling me on it, right? And I'm like, oh, shit, okay. I didn't even go anywhere else. I didn't wear anywhere else. I went to the Marine recruiter, and fortunately, dude, this recruiter is badass. Okay. And also, I graduated in 2005, so 2006-ish is when I'm starting to look at enlisting.
Okay.
And so there's a massive push for y'all that don't know. Maybe there's some youngsters watching, but like everybody's doing the surge in Iraq. They're wavering people for smoking weed to get in the Marine Corps. Like everybody's getting in.
Dude, there was felon waivers, drug waivers.
I'm one of them. Yes, literally.
On the range, I'll never forget this. We had a reserve unit next to us on the rifle range, and we were just belligerent, out of control. And they're like, what do you guys even do in this one? It got brought up like, yeah, half these dudes are waivers. And they're like, what do you mean half you guys are waivers? I was like, yo, who's a drug waiver or a felon waiver? And like, say there was 20 dudes, like 15 raise their hand, and the whole reserve unit's like looking like, who are you guys? I'm like,
yeah, people, bro,
Marines.
yeah. So, so I did. My recruiter went with my attorney, and they came up with a deal basically, and
No
I got
shit.
everything expunged, so I never got convicted of these charges. They got expunged if I joined the Marine Corps. I joined the Marine Corps 2006. I went to boot camp 2006. And
What
essentially
time?
it was good. Oh, dude, I think it was December.
Okay.
Like I enlisted then, and I think I went after Christmas because I was like spending Christmas at home.
Yep. Okay.
And so I went right in there. So it was January. It would have been in 05 to 06, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And then I go through boot camp, did my whole boot camp thing and whatnot, and I enlisted. I was a 0352. I knew what I was going to be in advance because I went reserve. You know, my mom did say this, and I was taking their advice a little bit after the fucking reputation of using my own advice.
For sure.
My mom's like, why don't you go reserve? You can always go active duty if you choose and you really love it, and at least you can come back and go to college. My parents were big college people, like most parents were at that time.
Yes.
College was still a belief that like that's what it took to be successful.
100%.
My dad's an engineer. Him being an engineer in the 1980s literally changed their financial life. So they're like,
You have to do the same.
this is going to be the way. Or you're going to, because I mean, their thought process back in the times was you go and, because I come from construction. His dad did construction too. So it's like you're going to dig ditches like your whole family and do construction and run equipment. Or you're going to get a degree, and your father's a shining example of what can happen, you know. And
That's the boomer logic, you know.
it is.
Now,
Well, and
there's
their
nothing
logic
wrong
was
with
correct
it.
based on their timelines.
100%.
But I was kind of pre-warning him, like, nah, I ain't the fucking thing.
Ain't
That
for
ain't the
me.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, cool. So I go reserve. And so I go to boot camp and knew what I was going to be. And
What was boot
boot
camp
camp
like?
was wild in 06, bro. Wild.
Okay, yeah. So I went in January 04, so you're 06. I get 2 years behind.
Yeah, but it's all the same shit probably.
So what's
You're getting
boot
guys
camp
that are
like
coming
with you?
back from Fallujah. You're getting guys coming back from Ramadi. All these guys are DIs now.
I never thought of that.
Yes, bro. So the guys that were deployed when you went in 04 came back, rotated, and got freaking duty jobs. And my drill instructors were fucking nuts. One of them was like this 6'5" black
Never
guy.
thought of this.
Yeah, he's watched some of my YouTube, so shout out. He's like 6'5" black dude with a fucking 249 machine gun on his forearm, driving a what was he driving what is that a freaking Trans Am with like open pipes backed under the freaking barracks, so he'd fire it up when he left at midnight.
Yep.
And I was just like, dude, just gnarly motherfucker, dude. And then my other drill instructor was like a 5'5" tall Asian dude, Hashimoto with a purple heart, and he was an infantry dude that went into that was in Fallujah.
Damn, dude.
He was
never
nuts. He was the
considered
kill
this.
hat. He
I've
just
never
was
considered
slaying people, bro.
this. God.
Yes.
So you're dealing with all these dudes that are just stacked straight from war.
Yes.
You
Even
know,
senior drill instructor, for sure. Yeah, staff sergeant, for sure.
That's wild.
So we're getting slayed, bro. Like there's a dude on Black Friday, and those that weren't in the military or the Marine Corps, Black Friday is like when you pick up from your what is that, receiving unit, and it's only a week. You get received, and then you go through your paperwork and bullshit. Then you get your drill instructors on Black Friday. And so on Black Friday, we start getting slayed. They tear up the whole house, meaning the barracks, and they're like taking apart beds. You're doing your whole 9 yards. You got your foot lockers. You dump them out. You pick them up. People are wearing the wrong boots. People are wearing wrong blouses. It's all fuckery.
You're like, why am I putting my name on everything?
Because it doesn't matter. Because I'm wearing fucking
got
BAMs,
somebody else's
camis
whitey
on.
tighties on,
Yes, backwards and shit. Everything's fucked up. Like the objective is to just cause mass
I
chaos.
had 2 different size flip flops the whole boot
Yeah.
camp. Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
I got this tiny little one, and then I got a fucking size.
You got my
14.
fucking shoe on, and then you got like some other guy's shoe on. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you can't say shit. Like, hey,
Well, hell no.
No,
They're just gonna look at you online and laugh their
just
ass
running
off.
around like an idiot. Yep.
And so we're getting hazed on the first day. And I remember carrying my Foot Locker in, my Foot Locker out, my Foot Locker in, my Foot Locker out. And we're on the first floor of the H in first phase.
Okay.
And some dude fucking tries to kill himself and jumps out the fucking window on the 3rd floor, 10 feet in front of me, bro.
No.
And I remember my drill instructor looking over, he's like all wide-eyed, and he's all, good, I hope he dies. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck, bro? He's like looking at him. He's like, guy's like, oh, it's only fucking 3 stories. He didn't die, but he went through the glass, smoked himself to try to get out, Medcept. Yeah.
Bro,
He's
yeah,
like,
I'm
and
sure
he's
he
like,
got it.
everybody the fuck inside. We go inside. We have to face the wall the other way. They get the fucking corpsman over there.
Standing there
That's
for
my
hours.
first day picking up, and I'm like, oh my God, bro, I'm dead. Prison would have been a good idea.
Where's Juvie sounding?
Where's
good right
Juvie?
now?
They got like
6
nobody's
months of
yelling
Juvie.
at you,
Dudes ain't jumping out windows.
People are trying to kill themselves here the first day.
Dude, we had a dude disappear the first
Trying
night.
to bounce? Yeah.
We're on Paris Island.
Oh, true.
Remember when they used to make you count off?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Personal money value bag. Pop.
And then what, too?
Yeah.
Which took hours to learn how like 70 kids to count and not fuck it up.
Oh, he's
And
gonna fuck it
Marines, too.
Yes.
Like,
You're dumb as shit.
most impossible task ever. Just say the number that's next after you, right? Dude, yeah, you're like 5, 6, 7, 22. You're like
how the fuck?
22.
God damn it.
How do you roll this far off? Some kid would panic and say it across. Anyways, we're doing this for hours.
They're so nervous, bro.
We're doing this for hours, counting off, and the drill instructor's just eating us alive. And we finally get to the end, and we're short. And the drill instructor's like, do it again. And we're counting, dude, like another 20 minutes goes by. We're standing there for hour plus, counting. Finally, because we get to the end again. Fucking idiots, do it again. We're just over and over and over again. Finally, after like an hour, the recruit on the very end, opposite end, comes stepping out. He's like, sir, this recruit, like shaking, and the drill instructors just attack him. And he's like, this recruit's rack mate left in the middle of the night last night. We were off, but they thought we were wrong. Dude, all hell breaks loose. They shut down all Paris Island. They find this kid sleeping in the back of these barracks, like curled up in a door we ended up hearing. And never saw him again. But we sat there for over an hour counting because this kid was.
You just didn't have the numbers. The numbers actually were accurate.
Yeah. Say we had 75 kids. We kept getting to 74. Yeah. They thought we would skip somebody every time. And finally that kid steps out. Yeah. And so we never saw him again. And that was it. But yeah, we sat there forever. The kid just dipped middle of the night. It was like, I'm over this. Yeah. This ain't for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. People try to do that up north. So when you're West Coast, you go up north to Pendleton. And so you'd go to the rifle range at Pendleton. So you spend second phase up there. Mm-hmm. And it's easier. You can jump over. And you've probably seen it 1,000 times. You jump and hit the 5 and you try to have somebody pick you up where you can hit the train. Mm-hmm. And so
right where those barracks are, on the rifle range, dude, I was on my motorcycle there. I was doing like 150-ish on the 5 coming down because the LCAC tower is like across from that. Where those guys are. I'm fucking cruising. I was with a buddy of mine and I look back and I'm looking for him and I look up and you know the 5 freeway, the traffic will just stop.
Stops.
Dude, I look up and it's just, and I pull my bike at the last second and barely miss his car, and I split traffic doing like 130.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yeah, I'm downshifting and braking, but, bro, I
almost died.
Right at that moment, right where those barracks are, I almost hit a car doing like one.
I remember getting a safety brief. I know the fucking 5 was. I was from Oklahoma, you know, and I would get a safety brief in School of Infantry, like going out on Libo. They're like, more fucking Marines die in the 5 than they do in combat. And I'm like, now that math's out, bro.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like, people, you don't be a dumbass this weekend, you know?
Yeah,
safety briefing.
Yeah, which we
right out
the window.
Well, you reminded me of camp when you're talking about like the fucking personal money valuable bag and the snap pop. You know, there's dudes that like when we would hydrate, our drill instructors, you'd have your shirt tucked in your whitey ties and shit.
Yeah,
and they just start pissing their pants like right out of their whitey tighties, right on the floor. I was crazy because it made you drink so many fucking water
First
bowls.
time I've ever seen a grown-ass man piss his pants was
oh my God. Then fucking Martinez, he would be laughing his ass off. This Mexican kid, he's so fucking funny. He was like the comedy guy, right?
Yeah.
And drill instructor would be like, fucking bounce. And he would just sit there and like go from air squats. He'd have to do air squats in his underwear as a grown man. And I'm just fucking trying to hold it together, dude. Boot camp's funny, man.
They're sadistic. Yeah, dude. They're sadistic. Like I have to get a drill instructor on
this fucking twisted shit.
The games, man. It is just back and forth. The one time we were on the rifle range, and the drill instructor had a broom handle, like a mop handle.
Yeah.
Just the handle, no head on it, and it had the metal tip, and he would just drop it. And every time it clicked, we had to do an up, down.
Oh, damn.
Middle of the night, hours. This kid ends up puking next to me, and I swear it was tofu. I don't even know what we ate that looked like it, but he puked up like these chunks of tofu, and they're splattered all over me, and I'm laying in this shit. We're doing up downs, middle of the night. We're doing it silent though because he's hazy.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
We're supposed to be lights out in the rack.
Yeah.
And he's just pink. And we're just the whole platoon. And dude, I stood up because I was right next to a pillar. And I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm like, this is stupid. I don't even know what we're doing. Like, I'm over this.
Yeah, I'm going to bed.
And my rec, he's like, bro, seriously, it's just going to make it worse. And the drill instructor was walking away from me, but I'm behind the pillar. So I got like a couple of rotations of not having to do it. I was like, fuck. Like, and
You're right. Everybody's going to get thrashed.
I was like, this is going to get worse. And I'm not going anywhere. Like, I knew I wasn't quitting, but I was like, this is I'm one of those people I have such a hard time getting fucked with just to get fucked with. If somebody screws up and we're all mass punishment.
Put it up, yeah.
Okay, this sucks. Like, we're going to pay for it. But just because, never could process that.
No, I'm so anti-authority with that shit, dude. That was one of the hardest things about being in the Marine Corps. We talked about this.
For real, dude. So boot camp at Paris Island. How was that coming from Oklahoma? Have you traveled at all?
I traveled a little bit. Okay. I mean, I traveled, but nothing crazy. You know, I'd been on a few vacations with my folks. My grandparents still lived in Kansas, so I traveled around the United States. It wasn't like first time I ever left, like a lot of people from Oklahoma.
For sure.
Or small towns, you realize.
For sure.
And, dude, I was talking about Oklahoma. There's this other guy in our platoon. His last name was Corns.
Corns.
Fuck, he had to be from Oklahoma too. And I didn't let anybody know where the fuck I was from after I found out fucking Corns was from goddamn Oklahoma. Corns had these fucking buck teeth, bro. Like these big ass buck teeth.
Yeah.
The drill instructors loved that shit.
Oh, any weakness.
They would like, and he was like fucking buck teeth sticking out. And I remember one night, one of our drill instructors was like, we're not fucking turning the lights off until Corns tucks his fucking teeth in his face. And he's like, oh, sir. And I'm just like dying laughing, bro. They're like, Corns. He gets on the fucking rack. You know, they climb up real quick in your face.
Yeah.
Tuck your fucking teeth in your face. And he's like, oh, sir. I'm like, dude, nobody knows. He's like, you fucking retards from Oklahoma. Fuck you guys.
You're like.
And I'm like, yep.
Yeah,
they're stupid.
Those guys from Oklahoma, they're special, and you're like, oh god, don't pull my file.
Yeah,
dude, drill instructors are the most sadistic human beings, man. I got to get one on the show and just hear the stories.
You do. Like I said, I'll talk about something, dude. There'll be some good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, what was your question? You said I got out. I went to School of Infantry.
How was that?
That was cool. I was like freedom. You asked about just going to San Diego in general. So that's kind of where I fell in love with it. Not from boot camp. Boot camp, you're only looking at the damn the airport.
Is it tough watching planes come and go all day?
Not me, but they made people that wanted to leave wave goodbye to him for like 4 hours. Literally. Like, there was a dude named Gumbosh. He got kicked out. He got med-sep. And he shit his pants to try to get out. Like, people do anything. He pissed his pants, shit his pants. And the drill instructors went and hazed him right in front of the airport because the chain link fence is right there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And he just had to wave goodbye to all the airplanes. He's like, tell them goodbye. They're going home, but not you, motherfucker. So he just waved goodbye for like 4 hours outside. We're just watching him like fucking sweeping. And
you're like, I just wanted to like slay the lava dragon. And
I wanted to do cool shit with a sword, bro.
Yeah, where are my blues at? Like, nobody told me about any of this shit.
Well, I learned what you learned real quick is like, dude, I'm just gonna get through. Like, the only way through is to finish this. Mm-hmm. And I saw, this is what I don't think a lot of people know is like, I realized really quickly that if you got fucking injured, or if you did something dumb and you get pushed back to another phase, it could cost you 2 to 3 months, bro.
You're there longer.
There's like worse than prison. You could be stuck there, and then you pass those dudes that are in flight suits that are trying to get med-sepped out. Like, if you go crazy and you want to say all this shit like Gumbosh and some of these fucks that got out, you will literally be there longer than it takes me to graduate. I'll be graduating, boom, I'm out, and I'm onward for 3 months, right? They're still stuck there getting processed out medically. And it could be 3 to 4 months. I know people that were on MCRD for like 7, 8, 9, 10 months. And life is not easy. You're getting treated like that recruit the entire time.
Yes.
When I went to SOI, they're like, you got weekends off. You got a little bit of a rough instructor, but no big deal. It was cool. You respected them. Freedom. They were cool. Yeah. They were real. They knew they were gearing you up for the fleet and or to go to fucking Iraq or Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So you got some real training. They're like, no more fucking with you. Now it's time to actually train you so you don't get your head blown off.
They got to make war fighters now.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was cool.
Dude, we had a kid. I got pneumonia at boot camp.
Same. Fucking everybody gets pneumonia at boot camp. I was laid up for like 2 days, and I was worried I was going to get set back.
I almost ended up passing out. Yes, bro. And my drill instructor. So I was the fastest runner in the battalion, and my drill instructor, like, we had this love-hate relationship. I wish I could find. I guarantee this motherfucker remembers me at all the recruits. But he straight up was like, "Listen, motherfucker. If you go to BAS, you're getting sent back to the next class." He's like, you're going to stand watch on the next couple of times where we're doing things, no physical activity. And he took care, like, he actually.
So kind of helping you out here.
And just let me rest because, dude, I was dying. And after like 4 or 5 days, I started to kick it. And dude, but I was petrified. He's like, if you want to start all over again, they will drop you.
They will.
You'll wait for the next class. You start all over again. And we were like in the like second phase, like toward the end. And I'm like, I was paranoid, bro, petrified that I was going to. We would pick up dudes in like third phase.
Yeah, that just needed a third phase to graduate. Yeah.
I'd be like, how long have you been here? I'm like, 6 months. You're like,
oh my God. That's exactly right. We had like 2 or 3 that graduated in our class.
Living on MCRD.
Yeah, that would suck.
Horrible. So you go to SOI after that, which is what? Horno? Where's SOI?
That was on Pendleton.
Yeah, it's Horno or Samite, whatever. But so then now all of your instructors, are they all combat dudes, or you got?
Yeah, they're all, because they're the MOS that's teaching you. So like your MOS, like mine was an 0352, like on top of the tow gunners. Then you got 0351s at the time. Then you got mortarmen 41s, and then you got 11s.
So were these guys? And the reason I asked is like we came in right when I hit the fleet. The whole battalion was doing the push, so we didn't have like. We had some dudes that were salt dogs, but you're coming in.
These guys are coming back.
So now they're
getting this duty station because they were in, freaking 3-1, 2-9. They were in all these places, right? Yeah, so they're getting a chill gig now for the most part.
How was that listening to them? Were they like prepping you guys for it?
You shut the fuck up. You listened, like you were prepared, like because you knew it was going down, And so they were just like real. And like it goes from drill instructors who were and that's another reason. I talked to my drill instructor, like I told you off camera, way longer ago, like literally 10, 20, or 20 years after I had gone through boot camp. But he was like, that's the reason, the mentality and stuff was so much different back then, is because we knew where the fuck you guys were going. Like we were hard as shit on you guys. We knew what we just saw. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
I wonder what it's like now.
Oh, I know drill. Like I told you, I know that first sergeant that used to be MCRD. He's like, dude, it's totally different now. Because the guys that are drill instructors were probably not even combat vets.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been a motor T guy or a freaking admin guy that got the gig, and he never really saw anything else. All he has is a boot camp story and some fleet stuff. So it's totally different than the dude that kicked in doors in Fallujah that's coming to lock on 17-year-olds, bro.
Just hating the world, disgruntled. Got
a lot more rule following type stuff, I assume, instead of the late night shit like that. Like I knew. Our drill instructors would lock people in the armory overnight because they'd be like, you're cleaning overnight. We're not letting you out. And he's like, I have to lock you in because I'm not supposed to put you in there. We're like, okay.
Yes.
They don't give a fuck.
No, bro. It was different times then. And they could get away with a lot more.
Yeah.
They're sadistic.
Because he had to lock the armory because he didn't want to be taking guns. So he was like, you're in there. We're locking it with you in it. And you're cleaning rifles for the whole night. So we're going to. And then we'll rotate them out next night.
Oh my god!
Just shit. They didn't give a fuck.
You're like, what are we doing in here?
Like, why is there two guys in the fuck? At least it's not me. That's all I thought.
It was always me.
Was it really?
It was always me.
You stick out like a sore thumb, bro. Being tall.
I just stared. You know? I was always just like looking at the gorilla. Like, Marshall 00 to the scribe every day at boot camp. Scribe, yes sir. Marshall 00. And I'd be like.
Firewatch every night.
I never let them break me though. I'd be at bed like I just want a full night's sleep.
Yeah,
I just want a full night's sleep. Because 00 is the worst in the middle of the night. Because
breaks up your whole night.
You're as soon as you fall asleep, then you're getting woken up. You
can't go back to bed
with your stupid moonbeam. Like, what the fuck am I watching here? What's gonna happen here?
Nothing's happening.
Except
for some dude killing himself in the rain room.
Yeah, dude. We had one night. My buddy and I are on Firewatch 00. It's right toward graduation time. This captain comes walking in out of the shadows, just like the Zoolander, when he's like in the coal mine. That's what this fucking captain like. We're like, Jesus, dude's giant, bro. At that time, like the biggest Marine I've ever seen in my life. Granted, I'm at boot camp, so I haven't seen very many. But this dude comes walking out, giant ass white dude. And he's like, come with me. And I'm like, oh, yes, sir. Like following him. He would go up to each rifle that hung on the rack. So we hung ours on a rack.
Yeah.
With like cabled in.
Yep.
Dude, he would grab the locks. Boom. And would just pop locks open. And he would hand me the rifle. And I'd sling it. Go to the next one. Rack. So most of them didn't open. This dude ends up getting like 7 locks to pop. And so I'm standing there with all these rifles slung. He's go give him to your drill instructor. It's 1 a.m.
Damn.
Slapping the stupid sign on the wall.
drill instructor.
Yeah, like, I have to. And he's like, dude, the drill instructor opens the door. He's in his whitey tie. He's got his campaign cover on.
Why do you have all these rifles?
Dude, I'm like,
what do you say?
The captain's standing there. He's like, take care of it, drill instructor. He's like, aye, sir. The captain leaves. The drill instructor's like, put him fucking back. Like, I was like, oh, thank God. Because, it's third phase. Like, you're getting ready to graduate. Yes. And I was terrified, though, but I've never seen anything like it. That dude just grabbed the whole cable and lock and just snap, and it would pop those locks, man. I was like, okay, this is why we have
at MCRD, that's the kind of racks we had. It was up north. They had
the armory?
The armory was they had like a closet inside of each barracks.
Yeah. So they'd lock you in there.
They'd lock people in there, yeah. Fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Stories, man.
I heard this dude, this drill instructor's buddy of mine, he told me they had a wall locker in their office, in the drill instructor office, that the back had been removed, like came off. And so what he would do is he would have, when it was his watch night, put all the recruits in, whoever was on watch would lock him in the wall locker.
Lock the kid in there?
No, lock the drill. My buddy, the drill instructor, he'd have the recruits lock him in the wall locker.
Okay.
Fully dressed, pressed, everything. And he's like, all right, good night, Marines. And they'd have him lock him in the wall locker. Well, as soon as they close the door,
He'd go out the back.
he'd push the wall locker off the wall. And that motherfucker's going home.
Yeah.
You know, he's sleeping. And then he'd have his watch. And they had that little handle in there. He's like, he'd shimmy the wall locker back. Morning fire watch would come in and open up. And he'd be standing there. He's like,
oh, dude, they psychologically just fucked them up.
These kids would open up and be
like a toy.
Just push the wall open and be like, let's go to work. And dude,
damn.
These kids are like, how is this dude standing in a wall locker sleeping all night? I'm like, that's the shit.
That makes you think they're psycho, dude. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what sets and breeds that mindset for Marines. Like that type of stuff. And you're like, oh, I had this drill instructor. He'd sleep standing up
all night long.
Oh, this dude's home with his wife, like getting it in. And just, these kids are just mind fucked. Like, how's he do this?
Yeah, you totally would be.
So you're learning machine guns or toes?
Yeah, I'm learning toes. You know, you're doing all the
what's a
machine
toe
guns
for people listening?
Yeah, it's a tube-launched, optically tracked, wire-guided missile. That's what tube stands for.
Really use?
No,
right?
dude, they switched over. They taught us those, and they taught us jabs too at the time.
Oh.
We couldn't shoot any jabs because they're too expensive, so we got to fucking do the demo ones, fake shit. We shot toes. Yeah.
Damn.
Anyways, I mean,
cool at least.
What toes? Those were cool.
I mean, shooting them.
We shot machine guns are more fun, like 249s, 240s, all that stuff. We got to shoot all of it in SOI. You can shoot everything, 50 cals, everything.
Yeah.
Thermite grenades, you get to do cool shit. So
Mark 19, you're doing all
Mark
that.
19s, 203s, everything.
It's fun until you realize you got to go to the armory for the next 4 days and clean heavies.
Fucking horrible. Exactly. I'm glad I wasn't a 31. The machine gunners are always doing that. But you're humping you had to hump the tube and the whole tripod and all this Vietnam ass tow gun shit in SOI.
Yeah.
So because you go on all these rucks through the mountains over there in Pendleton, and you're carrying literally like Vietnam style equipment. You're like, there's no way this makes sense. Like, we're really gonna fight a war with this shit. Like, even then, it didn't make sense, but we were.
Yeah. See, I was lucky because I was mechanized. So I mean, if we were walking anywhere,
something was wrong.
Majorly. Until we get to Iraq and we park our vehicles, and we're like, here's a map. Here's your AO.
When tracks break down. Do you guys have like the M88s that pick you up, just like the Abrams?
Yeah. So obviously ours is a Amtrak version of it, and then we have tow bars. We don't have the M88s. Dude, that thing's a beast compared to anything. I mean, dude, they can pick our whole vehicle up off the ground. So but yeah, we have a wrecker crew that's usually in the back with the comm vehicle. That's like the COC section. The C section is what we call it. And so yes, we have 3 main sections, but divided up. Yeah, it's they're the little brother in tow.
That makes sense.
They come in and
when I was in Iraq, I went to Iraq in 2007, 2008, but we'll get into it in a minute. But when I was in Iraq, we had to go rescue an Abrams unit that was coming back from Al-Assad. They were going back out. And they were pulling one of the vehicles. I think they were actually going to Al-Assad, but they didn't make it because they were pulling with a tow bar, and one of the front vehicles spun a track, busted a track. They're cruising down, and then boom, it rolls it. The back one pushes it, and they're both on their side. And so we had to provide security for that because our battalion commander's like, we're going there, you know. And so we went. We did security. There's like fucking F-18s flying over and everything. It was a deal.
Yeah, when you throw a track,
I got pictures of it.
You throw a track on a vehicle, it is a nightmare.
Rolled both of them because of the tow bar. I'm guessing they were cruising pretty decent.
Oh yeah, tanks could move.
It was moving, and then once it busted, it like the back one just pushed it.
Oh, for sure.
Just with the weight.
So after SOI, you're reservist.
Yeah, I go reserve. So I go home. My boys are going to the fleet. Everybody that was a tow gunner went to 29 Palms. So that's where everybody is split up from SOI.
Boom, boom. That. Okay.
I dodged that. Well, I say that. I still went to Mojave Viper pre-deployment. So, but yeah, I didn't have to live out there.
Mojave Viper. Was it CAX, then Mojave Viper, or did it go either
I was just Mojave Viper. I don't know. I think it was called something else before.
Okay, yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I dodged that. They went to 29, and some other guys did some other stuff. Everybody's getting split up. Another one of my buddies was reserve.
Okay.
And he was an 11, but he was reserve. Get this, dude. This is for everybody that's like, oh, reserves, fuck you guys, blah, blah, blah. Dudes in SOI with me, we graduate. His reserve unit was already on Pendleton that he got allocated to deploying. He literally walked around the corner, and then he fucking deployed.
No.
Yes, he had to go home for a minute because he got to go a couple days, but he had to go check in. He didn't get to go. Like, I'm leaving
into a deploying
SOI.
Unit.
He checked into a deploying unit. So
that's
he had to,
rad, though.
Fucked up, dude.
I mean,
he was probably the first one to hit Iraq out of all of us that graduated. He was a reservist.
That's the best way to do it.
That's all. But
you skipped all work.
Yeah, they went to Fallujah too. Yeah.
It's terrifying.
It was horrible.
Imagine being a kid and you graduate and you're like, oh, your unit's.
Well, he even thought he was going home because you don't know. As a reservist, they don't tell you what unit you're with until you check in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
like 4th MARDIV, right? 4th Marine Division. And so you don't know. They usually allocate you based on what unit's going to rotate out or what they need, right?
Yeah,
if you got 10 guys that left 323 or 324, you got to put all the new guys allocate to them. And so when he got allocated right, they're like, oh, we need him. LaBelle's going there.
I mean,
that's wild.
That's not worst case scenario. I mean,
yeah, at least he's going right there, and you go home like I did. I went home for like, what was that, like 3 or 4 or 5 months. Then we rotated into our annual training, and then our annual training we got activated. So I went to Iraq like within a year of being a reserve.
Here's a question for you: being a reserve, you could have doctors, cops, some hillbilly that works at fucking Sonics, whatever, right? What's that like? I'm not throwing shade on anybody who works at Sonics. I'm just saying the difference in quality of people.
Yes.
You're not just like Marines your job. You go back to a normal life.
Yep.
As best you can. You're doing your training. But that normal life is
completely different than what you're doing in the Marine Corps.
So
I think there's pros and cons from my perspective now, right?
Yeah.
The pros and cons. The pros would be you got some highly educated guys. Like I was telling you the other day, I'm like, you got guys that are graduating from college. You got guys that are attorneys. You got guys that own businesses.
Yes.
Because they're free thinkers. Like these guys are independently thinking. One of the cool things when we deploy with the reserve, with my reserve battalion, is guys are building shit. You're like, oh, hey, bam. Yeah, he owns a construction company. Can we do this, and this, and this in this area? Oh, let's build a movie theater. Oh, let's do this on our fucking free time. Oh, the burn barrels look like shit. He's like, actually, I can re-engineer this. You got smart motherfuckers, too. Yeah, so you're like people that are outside critically thinking, or at least getting educated, or this guy's an engineer, or this guy's, like I had some people that were getting like master's degrees. You know what I mean? Like there's some smart people in other levels of stuff, and they were literally Lance Corporals.
Yeah.
So
then you have the other side of the
spectrum. You have the other side of the spectrum. Where you have the kid that's in this grandma's basement that plays video games all day that has a job at Safeway, and maybe he's not even a freaking clerk, but he's the dude that sweeps the floors in the back. Like, so you have that. And then what happens if he stays in is he becomes a sergeant, and he is now in charge of, his squad or his people, and he could be a complete moron. Mm-hmm. So it's all about time and grade, right? And then
I guess it's the same in the fleet. Yeah, I guess it's the same in the fleet. You just can't escape them after a weekend,
Well, the thing I noticed that I've seen, like we worked with fleet guys all the time, right? Yeah. Like, and I was on base when we got activated. People may not know this, but when you're activated as reserve, they took it, at least at our time, really serious to get you guys spun up for a while. So when I got activated, it wasn't like, oh, you're in Iraq 2 weeks. No. I was activated, and we spent 3 months in Lejeune training, spinning us back up, getting us together.
From Oklahoma, you went to Lejeune?
Yes.
Really?
Because our sister company with weapons, because I'm a weapons company, right? I'm mech'd up too. So weapons and all of us, everybody goes East Coast, we go to Lejeune to activate. Okay. We're training there for 3 months, like active duty. Like we're running around on base. We have barracks allocated to us. Everything is just like being a fleet guy.
Yep.
Going to the gym, you get nights off, weekends off, same stuff.
Okay.
For 3 months of that. And they're trying to just get everybody together. They're trying to fucking start going. Because what I realize now is they don't have exactly where your AO is going to be yet. They don't know what unit they're going to put
They just know you're going.
They just know you're going. So they're getting you spun up. And they're getting you all in one spot.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. And then we spend another 2 months in Mojave Viper. So we're spending another freaking month. I think it was like a month or 2 months, but it was a Mojave Viper. It was at least 30 days.
Yeah. They're right around 30. At least when I went through, there were 30 days.
I think it's 30 days. Yeah, okay. So that's
long enough for 29
It was long enough, and it's hot as fuck, bro, in the summer. We couldn't sleep. We're sitting on cots. It was so hot. And everybody there's like, because there's multiple units in Mojave Viper rotating out during the timelines.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, this is worse than Iraq, so just don't worry. And I was like, for real? They're like, yeah. And they were right. You're living in Quonset huts, bro.
Yeah.
And it's hot as shit. So anyways, so we are spending another month there, and then that's where we rotate out of and go to Iraq. But when we come back from Iraq, we spend another 2 months demobilizing and going through the don't F-bomb your mom classes, don't commit suicide, fill out your VA stuff. So
when you
you're not just leaving 7 months like a rotation.
When you come back, are you home doing that 2 months? Or
No, on Lejeune. I spent back another 2 months in Lejeune.
You guys come back from Iraq and you have to sit in Lejeune for 2 months before you go back home?
Yes, because you got a freaking medical stuff. You have all these things to do.
Oh,
all this paperwork to go through. All of the bureaucracy.
Well, the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, and so like
do
I
that
don't want to say my time, but at least it's over 30 to 45 days. And the reason I don't remember exactly is because, dude, the first weekend I got libo, I got the entire libo canked from me. Because I didn't show up, I got wasted in town, and
you're a libo risk,
bro.
You're a libo risk.
I was supposed to check in with we were doing formation the next day, and me and my bro were out in town still wasted on someone's couch. the first weekend back.
Really?
Yes. And they're like, yeah, Hancock, you're not going on Livo anymore. And I'm like, that's all right. I'm good now. I got mine in, you know?
Had to get it in.
I was like, it's cool, man.
Iraq and you
cool.
Think, yeah, no.
I'll sweep this floor with a smile on my face for the rest of the time I'm in Lejeune.
Yeah.
As long as I can go to PX get beer once I'm done sweeping for the day.
We're good.
Yeah, so that's why I don't know how long it really was, because it felt like freaking eternity for me. I'm inside the barracks. Every weekend, I'm just like, see you guys later, dude.
Damn, you got your libo pulled
on
coming
first
back.
Weekend coming back
that
from Iraq.
Sucks.
Yeah.
You can't have zero freedom. So Iraq, you guys are going as a reserve unit. What were your guys? What's your guys' role, or where were you at?
So with being a tow gunner, we got allocated a personal security detail for the battalion commander and battalion sergeant major.
That's cool.
I got a sick gig. So they call it jump platoon. So what we call what it was
jump
called.
team, right, or something like that. Yep. Okay.
And all we did was whatever he wanted to do. So I didn't have to do any fire watch at night because we're ready to roll. We had to be rested. I didn't have to do like any traditional burning of the shit until I got in trouble. There's a few times I did get in trouble and I got thrown to do the classic jarhead film shit. And for those that don't know that watch this, maybe you're not in the military, but like literally that's how it is. That's how it was. You know, you shit in the barrel, take the barrel out, fill it full of JP8, burn it. And you're sitting in your freaking flight suit and burning cigarettes
all day.
Shit. Black stuff on your face is literally human shit that's burnt.
This is what people don't understand when you hear about burning shit. Because I was the shitty NCO, so I burned a lot of shit until I got smart and just dumped it into the burn pits. So
savvy play.
I might have told this story on this podcast, but when it came to burning shit, we had these female Marines that we built them their own shitters.
Yeah, they had to be separate.
Everything's cool. So we have these female Marines that come out and stay with us. We have to build them their own shitters, and we explain to them, listen, ladies, piss in one, shit in the other, because we're burning our shit out here.
Exactly what we were told. It's kind of hard to do that at first for all.
And I get it. It's probably difficult for a woman to do. I don't know. So they didn't listen to us. Both their barrels chili, just full of chili, it looks like. And so they're like, oh, we're not burning piss, or we're not burning our shit.
You can't burn it.
I get into this huge fight with their staff sergeant. I have to go get my lieutenant. He fucking like knife hands their staff sergeant for yelling at me. So anyways, what we had to do is we put our 3 barrels together, which made like a triangle, and we lit them, filled them full of JPA, lit them, we're stirring them. We had to put fence posts through theirs, the T-post through theirs, because we had handles cut in them, lift them and put on top of ours. So we had our barrels of shit burning and had to put the female Marines' barrels on top of ours to boil it. To boil, because so when you're burning pit or burning your shit, you're not burning the shit, you're just evaporating the liquid out of it pretty much.
Yeah.
And then you just
it's
whatever
dry, and
it just dries up and just like charcoal. So we had to boil theirs 2 straight days. I had these chicks dragging diesel cans, filling it up, burning their shit. And here's the best part. This staff sergeant, she hated me. I was fucking very belligerent to her. And so she's like, fine, show us how to do it. And so I was like, okay, take that diesel can, pour it in that bucket of shit, get a good batch in there, go ahead, light it up. So she lights it up, and she's just stewing, bro, just boiling. Because now I'm in charge of her, because she hates me, and now I'm in charge of her because my lieutenant was like, talk back to him again, like he's in charge of you. So I got this little chip on my shoulder. I'm like, let's go, staff sergeant, like one of these. She doesn't realize, on the T-posts how they're curved.
Yep.
It's funnel up, right?
Of course. So it's flat on the top of the thing so you can pick it up. Oh my God. So the shit's like, whap, whap.
Well, no, she puts the T-post in and it's grooved down, and she goes and gives it a big old stir, and the flames go right up the groove and just right in her face, singe, shit flavored smelling flames. Right. Singe, eyelashes, eyebrows, her bangs were all melted up. I die laughing. I'm on the ground like just pointing and laughing and rubbing it. They quit, never came back.
No shit.
They left our little command post. We had a little outpost. Yeah. They left. They were like, we're done with this. That was it. That's all it took. They didn't want to come back. I was like, yeah, it ain't easy living out here in this shithole. It ain't
easy, bro. No.
They went back to the fob, and then they ended up getting in trouble for leaving. So every day they would get a ride, like an hour ride out to where we were operating. We were running a vehicle control point outside of a city.
Yeah.
They would get dropped off every morning and picked up every night because they refused to burn their own shit.
That's bullshit.
I'm like, I thought, what the fuck's equality, right? We can't.
Exactly.
Oh, they want to be us.
It's not like that. It's for anybody that's out there advocating for equality, especially in line companies or infantry. You don't understand what the fucking bullshit you have to cater to. because of it, and how much infrastructure you have to actually have. I'm like, okay, how's that going to work out?
Yeah.
We're showering together. Are we all doing all these things together? No, it ain't working like that.
Then everything has either a watch, a time limit on it.
Correct.
You have to build them all their own.
Everything's
segregated.
Like the guys that did have lionesses or female Marines, for those that don't know, like on combat outposts and stuff or checkpoints, TCPs.
Yeah.
They fucking. There's always somebody fucking somebody else, bro.
Oh, there's
always
so much
somebody.
drama.
There's so much drama. There's so much. Yeah, it's a mess. And you got dudes fighting over the chick they're talking to. Like, it just causes things that you don't need.
There's so much drama. We're like, so we were like you. I'm not a grunt, but I was an Amtracker, so we're operating out of the wire. Zero drama. I mean, you got your little riff.
Drama. You
got
like
your riffs and your platoons and shit like that, but you're all pretty bonded at that point.
Yeah.
Bro, as soon as we brought out these females, the whole dynamic changed. They're demanding things now. Dudes are getting caught hooking up with these chicks on convoys. They're pulling over and getting it in out in the desert. Like the last vehicle, this dude got caught. Him and his chick, it was this chick driver, and they were the last vehicle. Dude, they'd stop. They would get it in real quick and catch back up. They ended up getting caught. Dude, it changes the dynamic on everything. Like, I'm all for women being powerful. Like, dude, we're girl dads.
Exactly.
We're girl dads.
Yes.
Like, I want my daughters to be able to do anything I can.
Yes.
There's certain roles that
I will very much so explain to them like the advantages they have and the disadvantages they have in order to be optimized, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be like, I'm just as tough as you, or my bones are made of the same as you. It's not how it works, bro.
It was not how we're built.
It's a lie.
And we're built, men and women are built so completely different. It always, even as a younger Marine, I never understood like why they were pushing for it.
Me neither.
So you take boot camp, right? Paris Island, that's where all the female Marines go.
Now MCRDs, you know, MCRD has females?
I knew, I heard that. But then there's 2 different obstacle courses.
Oh, no way. I didn't even know that.
Because if you fail the male one, they'd make you go run the female one, and they'd make you point and laugh because you had to do the female course. You couldn't complete the male course. But it's like, dude, if you want to be as equal to me, why aren't you doing everything that I have to 100%. Do? Why are we lowering the standards? That's the problem I have. Is when we start lowering standards for people.
That's just one of them, honestly, because you have such an infrastructure issue and it's such a
for sure
other things
for sure and everything. Yeah. Anyways, so you're the battalion driver.
I'm not a driver. I'm just like I was a machine gun. I was the 249. I carried a saw gunner.
Even better. So you're just standing there.
I volunteered for that. I was like, who wants to carry this? I was like, fuck me.
Oh,
like,
you think it's cool
until it jams all the time. You have to clean it up, and you get to carry the ammo.
See a lot of Iraq.
Yeah, so we're going around everywhere in the AO. So we're in the Al-Anbar province, dude. I got to do some sick operations. So when you get a battalion commander, everybody that's in the military will understand this. You may get a gun ho guy, or you may get like a total pussy. Honestly,
for sure.
Ours was very gun ho. He ended up being he just got out not that long ago. I want to say within a year. He retired, 3-star general. Dude's smart as hell. When he was a reservist, because he went active duty later.
Okay.
When he was a reservist for us in our battalion, he owned his own law firm. Like, the dude was gun ho, squared away, jacked. He was doing all these kettlebell workouts. Like, he was a dude. He was a man's man. He was very cool. Lieutenant Colonel Bellin, now General Bellin. You can look him up.
Good for him.
He's a good dude.
Good for him.
So I'm glad we got with him. Right. It wasn't some turd battalion commander.
It's scared. A lot of them are.
Yeah. This guy was not. Like, we did when Task Force 16 came to our AO, which is basically Green Berets, ODA dudes, and some Rangers. They were going to do an operation in our AO, and it's our AO. And he's like, okay, cool, we're doing it with you. Like, and we were on that op. Like, we could snatch up VIPs. So yeah, it was cool. Like, he was in it with it. And I'm like, damn, that's dope.
No shit.
Yes. So he would go to the sheikhs' houses. He was like in there, like sitting at the tables. So
what was the coolest thing you got to do with him?
I think that operation with the special ops dudes was pretty sick, dude. Because they weren't super happy because we controlled the AO. They don't want to work with us freaking grunts. We're all degenerate, you know, in 7 tons and Humvees.
The shittiest gear.
We literally, like, the night op we did, we broke up. It was like a convoy up front. The full convoy we broke in half. The Blackhawks dropped in, 3 of them. They got their own terp. They got their own detainees. They got their own dogs. And then they have to load up and roll into town with us in the 7 tons. And they're just like, you know what I mean? And I'm in the back with them, too, because I'm on the back. Me and another corporal are in the back, and everybody else is loading up, and these SF dudes. And I'm like, hey, I remember asking the guy, I don't know shit about SF dudes at the time, you know? I was like, hey, what do I call you? Like, how do I address you? You know, because the Marine Corps, like, you better call me Staff Sergeant. You better call me this. Like, I don't see any rank. Y'all are fucking wicked. You got like 4 opticals up there. I've just got 1. Like, what do you use all this
Doesn't
gear?
even work half the time.
Yeah, my shit doesn't work.
You're all trying to look at it.
Yeah, we're like Vietnam stuff. They're wearing like space suits. You know,
you haven't even seen their gear. You're like, what?
I've never seen any of their gear. I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah.
What do I call you? He's like, oh, just call me Mike. And I'm like, okay, Mike, that's fucking sick. And anyways, that was a cool op.
Yeah.
We did another op. It was pretty sick. We went down from Haditha all the way down the MSR main service road all the way to BIOP, so Baghdad International Airport.
Oh, okay.
The green zone. We had to drop off a Navy dock like all the way down there to do something. So we drove and we went through the Ramadi. We had to stay at Camp Ramadi, and then we had to go around Fallujah because it was still a shit show. And so we went around there. So I got to see a lot of Iraq, bro. I went from all the way Haditha on a drive down to the Green Zone.
No shit.
Yeah. And then when we got back, literally within the next day, we get back, and Senator McCain comes in with VIPs and CIA and everybody else. On his presidential election campaign to Iraq.
Okay.
And so I have a picture of me at 19 years old shaking hands with Senator McCain, shooting to be President McCain, in a soccer field with a machine gun on my lap at 19.
Really?
Bro. So that's what I'm saying. Like, our battalion commander's like, boys, we're doing this. This is gonna be cool. And I'm like, sick. Like, we're in.
Yeah. See, because you don't, as like a normal unit, you're sent to a town, you're sent to a post.
We would check on all those guys.
Yeah, and you're getting to travel.
Yeah, like, what's up? I knew everybody because we were traveling around, bro.
Yeah, that
was cool. It was like the best job I think I could have had, especially since I only did one deployment to Iraq.
Yeah,
I loved it. Like, that was cool. That was really
for sure.
We're doing fun stuff.
For sure.
Not bored,
That's the thing that people don't think about is the boredom that sets in. And
I didn't even think about it because I didn't have that type of deployment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, tomorrow we're going to Haklania. Hey, man, we're going to check on this MIT team out here. I'm like, sick. Everything's a new day.
What year were you there?
That was 2007. 2007 to 2008. We went through the year transition.
I wonder if we crossed paths because I was there in 2006 and came back in 2007.
We ripped active duty company, of course. We took their place when we came in.
I'm wondering. We
all landed in the dam, then we got shuffled down to our own.
We should line up dates because
for sure.
I was at.
It has to be
Haditha, Ramadi, Haklania, Sinjik, Barwana.
Yeah. Barwana, we checked Barwana. Absolutely, dude. That was the places we had to go check.
I wonder if we crossed
Cop Ellis.
Dude, so Cop Ellis, they named it after
fucking hated Cop
Sergeant
Ellis.
Major Ellis when he got blown up. That was us.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious. That's crazy. It is. The Cop Ellis sucked. Didn't they have the showers that were like tents?
Yeah. What do you mean? You had other options?
Dude, yeah, we actually had a trailer. That was sick. In the city, they had a trailer. Okay, you have the battalion commander there.
Yeah.
So you got a little bit of a nicer spot.
Well, you know who set those showers up? The Army.
Oh, really?
Army came in like months into it. We had nothing there. We went we went a couple months without even showering because we were feeling
I believe that.
So you remember
You're in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, so if you had Cop Ellis,
yeah.
Barwana was right there. There was a vehicle control point outside of Barwana. We built all of that. I don't know if it was still there or not. And it was just triple strand wire. But yeah, Cop Ellis is where, because Sergeant Major Ellis got killed on that deployment. Yep. There was a suicide bomber. That's what killed a female Marine and a bunch of other people during a re-enlistment ceremony. I believe they were doing at an entrance control point. Yeah. But the Army came in, and I'll never forget because I heard the lieutenant was like, "Hey, I think there's showers." I'm like, "Hey, you got a brief tonight, right, sir?" And my lieutenant was dope, dude. Like if we were like getting low on chow or like the Otis Spunkmeyer muffins back in the day.
Yeah, those are sick.
Blueberry ones.
Those and Rippets.
I'd be like, "Yo, sir, we got to go back and you got a debrief tonight, right?" And he'd be like, "Prep the vehicle." I'd be like, "Roger that." So I go get my boy and we would prep vehicles and roll back just for hot chow. Sick. Hot chow. We show up, dude, and the Army was there setting all these tents up and getting the hot water going. I was talking to them. They didn't even get issued weapons.
They're Army dudes?
Water purification. Their only job is to set up showers on bases and fobs around the base.
Security for them.
Marines on the base, I guess. They'd come in on a log train. They'd dump everything, and their job was. Could you imagine joining the Army and you're in Iraq and you don't even have a weapon issued to you?
I mean, Marines don't even know that at all because you always have a weapon.
One arm's
even
distance.
The cooks do.
Yeah, the cooks are sitting there.
Their rifles are back there. Their slings.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah. That's pretty dope, though, man. That you got to travel like that. That's
I got a funny story going to an Army base. Now that you say that,
yeah.
Dude. So, dude, I was coming back from that op where we went to Baghdad International Airport and we shot up. When we had to stay the night because we weren't going to hoof it through the night on that. There's so many fucking IEDs on that. It was like tier 1 IED road. So we were going to take it at night, and so we stopped at Camp Ramadi, which is an Army base, a massive Army base. Like it's a pretty big. It's like not as big as Al-Assad, but anyways, we stay the night there. They just put you in those massive tents, and then we're punching out in the morning, getting chow, and we're out. And so we did, and then I hear some music after chow, and I'm like, man, there's some like loud music, like sick. And me and my buddy are like, man, what is that? I don't know. Let's go check it out. Like we didn't have where to be. We were just gonna be at our watching a movie on our laptop or some shit, waiting for the next morning. And so I was like, let's go check it out. We go to this tent, dude, this big tent, it's like one of those buildings they built out there.
Yeah.
And it's like a fucking dance party. It's like a full-blown dance party, dude. Like, this is definitely going to have to get edited out of this podcast, but it is full of black people. Okay. And they're all Army black people. And it is a damn gangster rap dance party. And my buddy's like, get out there, bro. I'm like, yeah. And we have our weapons on us. They don't have weapons. They're like in PT gear. Like they're allowed to. I'm like, where the fuck am I, dude? I'm in the middle of Iraq. Yes. And there's a dance party right here.
Yes.
And it's not, I'm not even hacking the black people. I'm just telling you what it is. Like, this is what I'm seeing. Okay. I'm giving you a perspective. All right. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? So I have a picture of me with my saw in my lap, like this, dancing in this floor, and everybody's looking at me like they're all in PT gear, all armied up. And I was like, dude, get this picture, then let's get the fuck out of here before we get jumped.
Yeah.
So he's like,
dude, built different.
It was way different.
Built different. Dude, you go to an Air Force base.
There's like a
Army
DJ
base
up there, bro. They're like, yeah, give me some camaraderie. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
That does not happen in the Marine Corps.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
Not outside of Ramadi, at least.
Not outside of Ramadi.
Did you ever hit Camp Tombstone? It was it was outside. It overlooked Ramadi. It was on like a hill outside of the city that we helped build that. But
sick.
that's cool that you were at Camp Ellis. So like we built that from the ground
Where
up.
we lived was in downtown Hadithas. We lived in the city.
Okay.
And one of the old schoolhouses. And then what happened was there was a line company there, and then us, and then H&S was back up at the dam. And so we lived there, but with some S shops and some PSYOPs units.
Okay.
And then what happened was like everything was changing in Iraq big time. So our SOPs were changing big time.
Oh.
So we were like, when we got there, we're freaking like pin flaring people, we're pointing guns at people, we're ripping people out of cars, like you want to struggle coming back home, be 19 with a machine gun, ripping adults out of their cars and slamming them on the curbs, and then all of a sudden you have to freaking like
follow the speed limit.
Follow the speed limit or something. Like you're a jolly green giant, bro. You do what you want, you know.
Got a machine
gun rolling
gun.
up, like fucking do this, do that.
Pen flaring
too much, yeah.
How fun were pen flares?
Oh, so sick, dude. So
Burn
sick.
a case a day.
Yes. I used to give kids, like, always like, Mr. Pepsi, give me Pepsi. I'd be like fucking handing out non-alcoholic Becks. I'm like, yeah, bro, try that. It tastes like shit. Coors. I'd just be stuffing them in my dump pouch. And I did some stupid shit.
Dude, we kind of talked about it the other night. Like we're just looking back on it now as the veterans who we've become. Like, where were the weapons of mass destruction, right?
Yeah,
so
they ain't none.
Now that we've been out of the theater for a while, and you look back on the shit that they turned us out to do. Like, no
wonder they wanted to blow me away.
No wonder they hated us. Like, there was never weapons of mass destruction, and we're just kicking in doors, blowing everything up.
Spray painting their houses and yanking
everything's got bullet holes in it. Like,
fucking
no
Lance
wonder
Corporal Hancock and Bam just ass-hatting around, dude.
Putting holes in everything. And they're like, hearts and minds. Hearts and minds. Like, imagine if a military just came to our country and were like, you guys have weapons of mass destruction.
Yes, you do, bitch. Boom, your door's down.
On the ground. And they're like, I don't know what the fuck. Yes, you do. We're like, here we are brainwashed. Like these stupid.
Well, dude, we created our own enemies. Like I could watch it in real time, like the cycle. Like dude, some guy gets killed, even if it's like collateral damage. Like boom.
There's generations of hating us now.
Dude, sometimes they're so fucking dumb too, right? Like some of these countries, like you guys know what I'm talking about. It is what it is. That'll go viral. But yeah, they're really fucking dumb. Like the dude's going. I'm like, you knew. Like one of the guys, we had a situation that they were going inside of one of the combat outposts, and it's like, dude, you are from here. You live here, and his passenger got his head blown off by a 240 from security at the gates because he's like, and he gets out and he's like, oh my God, I thought I went the wrong way. And the Marines are like, whoop, and just mows him down. He's like, yeah, my buddy's head just got completely graped and blown apart because I went the wrong way to work today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're so. What I'm getting at is he was dumb. Like he took that route.
They are.
Sucks, but that's kind of who you're dealing with.
But it's not even like their fault. They just
no.
They're living in a mud hut, and then here they are, and then we're implementing all these rules, curfews, boundaries.
People, they're like, dude, they want to have like when I came back home. People were like, how was it, whatnot. I'm like, they don't want what you want, bro. You think they want what you want? They want to fucking get a cell phone next to the place where the goat's hanging out front and his throat's slit and the blood's going down the street and it goes over to a puddle of nastiness next to the hospital where they throw all the fucking shit and the bandages out back and burn it.
Yeah.
Said, and then they're gonna take a shit on the side of the road in their man dress. I said, they don't want what the fuck you want. Yeah. And they're like, oh. I'm like, you're actually an asshole for thinking that they do.
They're the happiest they could ever be with that. Yeah.
Let them have it, bro.
I get it, dude. It's tough looking back now, like at the Iraq War and knowing that there were never weapons of mass destruction, that we were all played this whole 9/11 bullshit. And it's like you kind of look back now, you're like, my bad.
Yeah.
Like, we were just following orders.
What's crazy is like you go, so when I went to Baghdad, dude, there's also houses with like pools, like concrete buildings, like nicer shit too. So you're like, huh. Like same with like Afghanistan, we talked about it the other day, dude. You look back before Islam really took over and there's people in like beautiful regular clothes. Look at Iran, right?
Look
like
very
cars.
westernized, yeah.
It looks like a vacation spot. You know what I mean? 100%. That's a sick little desert trip.
100%. And now it's
just, I think it's, yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is. And you know what? We didn't know. We were being patriots and defending our country because it was attacked. But you look back on it, it's like
a lot of things that we wouldn't have done ourselves. One thing I realized, though, at a pretty young age, this is what made me question a lot, was the KBR. You know KBR, right? The chow hall companies, the contracting companies. Well, I did enough due diligence, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, look it up. But like KBR was part owned by Halliburton. Halliburton was owned by Dick Cheney. Yep. So, I mean, look up, I mean, the details to that may be gray on what I know about that, but I do know that company was a contract company.
For sure.
And I'm like, it does make sense. Think about it. Like, if I'm the big wig, we got this big war machine going, and I'm like, man, you're like, oh, man, I'm going to start a company. I'm like, cool, start a company. You just broker it out. I'll give you the contracts. Let's go.
Dude, I knew a dude that had the military contract for shower shoes, and this dude was
printing money.
Oprah rich.
Oh, easily, yeah.
All for shower shoes, but his buddy was
probably
connected.
Charging fucking 10 times more than it would cost to do it in the civilian world.
Yeah, but his buddy had a contract and knew some people and told him, hey, we need to do this, and they're ordering these. Every shower shoe that any Army, Marine, anybody that's ever worn, they met the dude that had the contract. And dude, he had his own Porsche race team. Like,
oh yeah,
and
he's wealthy.
And that's all it takes. And that's what people don't realize when these wars kick off. We're making the rich, and you're making their friends rich. We're making their family rich. Their kids are because they all set all this shit up.
Think about not even being a part of that. Think about even just having the inside knowledge of trading and knowing that you could invest in the stocks for that company, and it goes public. You know what I'm saying?
And you do nothing, and you just cash out.
Correct. So,
that's my problem right now with the government. But so
whole other podcast.
That is a whole other. We don't have time for that shit. But
yeah. So I get back from Iraq. I go to Lejeune for 2 months. Or a month, whatever it is, 2 months, and then I rotate back home. I land back in Tulsa, Oklahoma. My parents pick me up, and I was kind of fucking lost, bro. Like, even though I just did one pump out there, I was with my boys for a long time.
Then
I remember feeling very alone with my two parents who were like, I told you guys a story, like conservative family. They're always there for me. My parents are good people. But I remember they're in the front seats, and I'm in the back, and I'm going my way home from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Oklahoma City, and I just like start fucking crying, bro. Like, and my boy texts me, my driver, really good friend's mine, Buck, his last name, and I'm just like breaking down, bro. I don't know. It felt really alone. I can still feel the feeling.
Yeah.
I've been married 12 years now, and I have my own kids, but I still feel that feeling. You know what I mean? It was like, I don't know these people anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm just a different person now sitting here. Mm-hmm. And not that I wasted thousands of people or I got blown up in an IED or something. Even just being so far separated and being such under stress for so long and just in a different world and seeing so many different aspects of things and thinking that you were going to die any day for the most part and, doing the shit we do. I was really detached from these two people that like I have nothing to explain to them. I can never tell them enough to explain how I felt or what happened to me in my experience.
Well, a lot of it, I think, too, you don't have to be some freaking SF guy and all this other crazy shit like you're saying, but I think a lot of it, too, is the bonds that you create.
That was more or less what it is. It's not like I struggling
from
some fucking situation.
Yeah, but
I don't think PTSD really comes from that, to be honest. Like, I feel to this day that like I'd have no problem if somebody was like a child molester, I'd blow his brains out. I'm gonna sleep at night. We're gonna have a fucking drink, I guess. I don't care.
Yeah.
But what people have PTSD from, I feel, is a lot of past traumas prior to the military, or things they never addressed. And that's what leads on to it. It's a lot of like child molestation maybe happened to them, things like that. I don't think those situations are what causes PTSD. I mean, I could be wrong.
I'll have an expert on one day to be.
But I did struggle a little bit when I got back. Assimilating.
Well, it's lonely, bro. I mean, you go, and this is what a lot of people don't understand either. It's when we talk about camaraderie in the military, it's not just like a sports team, because I can relate athletes. I feel athletes that are on teams and they come up together is the closest that you're going to get to that military feeling. But when you're on post with this dude for months on end, and you're in a vehicle with them. You're living in a confined space in the back of a tank where, dude, you're hearing every fart. You have no privacy. You can't. Every little creak and crack, you're hearing it.
Yeah.
But that means that you're living with these people. It's like living in a cave. Like even when you have a little hooch, you have your boys. And then that camaraderie, and that becomes life.
It is life.
And then they're there, and you always have that dude there. Like, yo, let's go to chow. Hey, we're going to go grab this. You can want to cut. Hey, grab me something when you're there.
Exactly.
And then you learn, and then your boy comes back with a tray of shit. Like, yo.
I know you like these, bro.
Yeah, here you go.
Thanks, dog.
And it's that little shit that you get to learn, like, your homies.
Yes.
And this is where, like, that camaraderie where it's almost sad on the civilian side, because I feel most people that don't have that experience, or at least deployed experience, they miss out on such a deep friendship. Like I have friends right now that I haven't talked to, and we can go 10 years. He sits right there and we will cry laughing and pick right up on the last foot that we stepped off on, because it's that there's like that deep trauma bond, getting hazed together. That's where the athlete thing comes in, like early training season. Everybody goes through the suck together. It's the same shit. But it's like just every day in, day out, sun up, sundown, middle of the night, you're checking on them. They're sick. You're bringing them shit like that.
Absolutely.
All becomes, and then all of a sudden you come back to the States and it's gone.
All surface level a lot of times, you know? That's what I was like. And so, yeah, I go and start working for my dad again, bro. I just started working construction again. And doing what I'm doing. I went back to school, so I got my associates in municipal fire safety. I felt like I needed to, so I was going to get on the fire department.
Yep.
You know, kind of do the paramilitary organization thing. At that time, everybody was getting out of the military, as we talked about. The real push was getting people out now because it was so top heavy
and everything. Yeah.
And so I was applying for Oklahoma City Fire, and there would be like 7 open positions, and there'd be like 1,700 applicants. Yeah. And I was like, "Fuck, I can score an 85 on the written test and not even get looked at." Mm-hmm. And so I did that like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, "Fuck this! I'm like fighting to make 35 grand. I make that now as, you know, as a firefighter. Okay, I only work 11 days, but I could just do construction and get overtime and make as much or more."
For sure.
So. That's when I got real disgruntled. And I kind of fell back into my old habits, the ones that I had before I had gone in the military, which is like drinking again, partying again, going to bars, fighting, stupid shit, just having fun as an idiot. I went to a rodeo school for a short weekender deal, and I rode bulls, and I tried to buck some other people's freaking colts and stuff.
Oh, really?
I was hanging out with this whole cowboy crowd. Yeah, this was my cowboy era.
Yeah,
and being in Oklahoma, it's not hard to throw a stone and find that.
Yeah,
but
sure.
So I essentially did that, and what I was searching for though, I was searching for adrenaline again. Like there was just nothing that would give me the high that I had before of like doing what we did. It was like, and it was everything was so boring and so watered down. It felt like in the civilian world. So it's like I needed to like make it more exciting and do more crazy shit to get up there. And it's a vicious cycle. I think that's why guys rotate all the time and keep going and get addicted to the cycle of combat. And I was going back to the gym, starting pumping iron some more. I never really quit. I was working out at the FOBs and combat outposts, probably like you too. Keep your mind off shit and have fun. But one of my buddies, the reason I say this is because a couple of my guys I was working out with were older than me, and they kind of were like, "Dude, why don't you start your own business? Like, if you're so pissed off at like doing what you're doing." And I was moving up in my dad's business. My dad's not one of those guys that like. And mad respect to him. He probably did this on purpose looking back, but he's not one of those guys like, "Oh, son, yeah, let's get you a bigger salary. Let's make you this guy. You can run the company one day." No, my dad's like, "You're going to figure it out on your own. If you ever ask me, then maybe we can talk about that, but I'm not going to fucking like give it to you."
I respect that.
You're going to be like, I was like, when I started working for him, like $5 an hour. And then I got back from Iraq. I maybe worked my way up to like $15 an hour and finally got like a $40,000-ish salary. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I'm working like hard.
But look at what that did for you though.
Oh, that's what it made me hungry. I mean, I was not getting, it made me hungry.
For sure.
And so I was operating equipment, doing all that stuff, welding, backfilling, running excavators, skid steers, whatnot. But anyways, a buddy of mine's like, "Hey, dude, you should start your own business." And about this time, just so you guys know the time lapse, I ended up meeting my wife now. So we started dating. I'm taking life a little more serious. She's like kind of the one that I shut all of the stupidity down. When I shut all the stupidity down and I started to fucking focus, and I met her, I took things serious. Like I was like, okay, now I met the woman that I want to be with. We're going to get married one day. And so that immediately, I took that energy and that attention and that mission that I had of just being an idiot, and I started focusing on getting married and having kids and then building a business once that got, put into my brain.
Interesting.
So that's what I did. I took all that energy that was like going in bars and doing all this stuff,
which I feel a lot of guys get pulled into it, and then that becomes the new cycle.
It was the new cycle for me,
and a lot of guys get lost in it.
It's not what I ever wanted. Like I think that it's not what you ever really wanted. It's like a short highs, like we talked about.
For sure, and there's no long game in it. Like, what are you going to do? Party and drink your whole life? That's a lot of guys find themselves in that groove.
Yeah, we know a lot of people that do that.
There's a lot of vets, and this is where I really wanted to have this conversation with you because, the veteran community is always, what's next and what do I do? And everybody feels so lost. And it's like, bro, we've accomplished so much in the military. Like, it's just, how do we start changing these guys' mindsets?
Well, I think one of the best things for me is I only spent 4-ish years in, right?
Yep.
And so I was out really young. To put it in perspective, I got in at 18-ish, like fresh 18. I got out at 22, and I bought a house because I had saved up to deployment. I didn't have any expenses. I wasn't married, I didn't have kids. I didn't have a truck because I just sold it before I left. So I'd saved some money and I bought a house at like 22 years old, got a roommate. Like I didn't even know what house hacking was. I didn't know anything about assets, but I was like, this seems right. And I sure as shit didn't want to live with my parents anymore.
Yeah.
So I bought a house, like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath little house for $150,000 and
really
$30-something thousand down on it.
Okay.
Yeah. This is 2008.
Okay.
This is I'm sorry, this is not 2008. This is because I'd gotten back in 2008, go back to the Reserve Battalion, and then I also went to Africa. But this is around 2009, 2010. So post 2008 is what I'm getting at. So the housing market's already really low because all the crash. And then George Bush comes out with like this incentive for first-time home buyers to give them another $8,000 back if they buy a house. And so I was like, I'm going to do that instead of rent. And so I did. I mean, I come from construction, so I had some ins and I knew some people and I got a deal.
So what was the first business that you started? I mean, as a new out of the Marine Corps, venturing into, I guess, the entrepreneur life now.
Yeah.
What are you starting?
So when I got the house, I was still working for my dad.
Okay.
So I kind of time-lapsed it over, just trying to pair the story together for everybody. And then when I met my wife, I went to the gym was like start your own business. And the only thing I knew what to do was to build houses because that's what I grew up in. I've done everything in construction, like from foundations to everything, plan design, all that stuff, like helping with all of it. And so my first company that I ever started was a home building company. And so I built, what I did was that buddy I was talking about was doing very well. He's about 10 years older than me. And he's like, dude, I'll help you do your first deal. Like you want to build a house and I'll help you get the banking. Like I'll partner with you. I was like, sick, dude, this is awesome. I had all the questions, all these fears, all these doubts. And this kind of goes down the veteran route and the new mission that we talked about. So I had all these fears, all these doubts. And then I turned around and he was like, dude, didn't you just get back from Iraq? Like you're this Marine guy that could have like died. What the fuck are you talking about? He kind of put it in perspective for me. And I was like, oh, dude, you're right. Like I wasn't scared at all of that. But here I am scared to go try life.
Terrifying.
Yeah, terrified of this money aspect and shit I never knew or got taught, really. And he's like, yeah, do it. And I was like, fuck it, you're right. I'm going to do it. So I went to my dad. I'm like, hey, I'm going to start building. I'd like to still work for you, obviously, because this isn't going to pay off until I sell it. Can I do part-time or whatever? Can I check my project on the weekend? Or obviously on the weekends, but in the evenings too, like get off at 3, go check the projects or the one house that I'm going to build. And he's like, who are you going to do that with? And I was like, well, this guy, my friend, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, okay. He goes, how about this? How about I help you get the lot? I co-sign for you on the lot, the dirt. The dirt was like $20,000.
Okay.
And I didn't have fucking $20,000 anymore. And so he was like, I'll co-sign with you. I'll get the lot. And then you build the house on it. And I'll be your partner on this deal instead of him. And I'm like, well, fuck yeah, my dad. I trust my dad. My dad's a square dude, solid. So I saw what he was doing. He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. So I got given an opportunity. I took it. I was like, cool. I told the other dude, I was like, hey, man, I'm doing it this way. He's like, no big deal. Cool. I hope you kick ass either way.
Yeah.
Do it. I build this thing. It takes me like 9-10 months, my first house, going through the process, going through the thing, checking on it on the weekends, checking on it on the afternoons after I would work. And I ended up selling the thing and sold it and made $45,000 on this one spec house.
What'd that feel like?
More than I was going to make an entire year, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, it was the first click and epiphany that like, this is how money can actually be made without me turning a wrench or running a piece of equipment. Like that was my first unlock of detaching my money from the hours. I didn't take into consideration that I had spent 9 months building this thing, but at the same time, it was like I've never been handed that much money in my life. Like I usually was saved, incrementally or something, or sold a truck or something, and it was never that amount of money. It was like $3,000 or something.
Yeah. So this is big for you. So
yeah, it was sick. So that's when I was like, oh hell yeah. So I was like, I'm doing it again.
Really?
Yeah. I did it another time, and I did the next lot, like in the same little area. These were infill lots. The neighborhood was already developed. There was 3 or 4 left, and so I was like, I'm going to take these down. And I did them. I did the next one, and I sat on it for a little while. So I learned like, oh, you can get hurt doing this too. I ended up selling the house finally and making $25,000 on it. So I was like, that's sick. Then I bought the next lot, and then the last lot that was in the little subdivision that was there because they were infills. It was somebody else came to me and said, hey, I want to build my own house. I want to live in this neighborhood. I know you're a builder and you own the lot, but I don't want you to build it. My dad's a builder. How much do you want for the dirt? And I was like, I bought the lot for like 20-something grand. And I was like, oh, I'll sell it to you for $45,000. So I made like 20-something grand just flipping dirt. And I was like, it still didn't click for me though. Like I'll get into it in a second, but like I've done a lot of deals and a lot of real estate stuff now, but I didn't really put into perspective what I had just done on that last one. I was like, dude,
sure.
Now looking back, I'm like, dude, you're a dumbass. You should have done like 1,000 more of those and not built any houses, but didn't know. I was like, oh, all I did was like, oh, that was really cool. Now I'm going to go back to building. Yeah. Literally what I did.
Yeah.
So I started building up. The company got a little bigger. I got more of a reputation. I did some parade homes. I was marketing it. I got, doing all this other stuff.
Oh, shit. You're fully on your own.
Yeah. So I stopped working for my dad probably within like a year-ish of that that second house that I'd sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, fully on my own.
No kidding, bro. Yeah. So now you're hooking and jabbing.
I'm hooking and jabbing as hard as I can. At the same time, I'm married. I'm having kids. Or on the way to having kids, really close. And so that's what's happening. Yeah. And I was getting custom. So where the money comes from. So the bad part is like with those projects is you build it and you hope to sell it. It's called a speculative investment. It's called a spec house.
Okay.
People don't think anything about that. When I did my first one, I didn't think about it. I thought, oh, hell yeah, I can make money like this every time. I get why builders are rich in your mind. But you don't realize like if I would have sat on that property for X amount of months more, I would be paying all this interest accrued, and then I would have made nothing, and I would have worked for free. So there's down markets where you can literally, lose big time.
You can lose your ass.
Build. Oh yeah, a lot of builders go bankrupt.
Especially if you got 3-4 houses all being built.
I have been there. That's a good. I'll get into that one. Okay. I've been there, and so I keep cooking, doing well. But I'm taking on custom homes. So for people that don't know what custom homes are, it's like one-off plans. Like Bam and his wife want to build a house. We lay down the plans. We look what you guys want to do. Full-blown custom. I bid it. You guys say, yeah, let's do this house. I say it's going to cost $500,000, and I do cost plus. So $500,000 cost, that's the cost plus my percentage. So I would do 10 to 15% depending on the project size. Yeah. And so I'm making $150,000 on if I'm doing 15% on $1 million, right? If it's $500,000, I'm making, do the math. But it's consistent. And now what it is like as we build, I bill. As we build, I bill. So it's now I'm getting cash flow so that I can live my life. And then I'm building a house to sell so I can make a lump sum. So I'm doing both now because I needed this to survive. I needed customs to survive, to feed me every day because it's like at least if I have 2 or 3 projects going, I could make a couple $100,000 a year over a period of time every single month. It's like my check. Yeah. And then over here I could have these projects that pop. And when they pop, I'll make, $80,000 rip, $50,000 rip, blah, 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 as I sell them. This is the concept, right? Business, things happen, right? And so 2018, I was moving and grooving. I was reading like all these books now. I'd gotten all into it. I had young kids at the time. My kids were both under 3. My girls were 13 months apart. And so I built my first house too. So let's rewind. I built my first house, 3,500 square foot, gated neighborhood. I was doing well, and we're talking 29, 30, 31 years old. So you're impressive from the outside looking in. For sure. Right? And I'm just in it. I'm just doing the work. I'll do whatever it takes. I'm hungry, bro. Very hungry. And I'm figuring it out. I'm listening to, I think, Jocko's book comes out, Extreme Ownership. And I'm like, shit, I need to be a better leader. I'm realizing there's things I need to solve. Also becoming a father made me start digging a lot deeper into the thought of how I grew up. As much as I love my parents and stuff too, in construction field, for anybody that's ever been in it before, you don't realize it's a very pessimistic blame game a lot of times. So it's like, oh, the framers fucked this wall up, so we can't work. We got to get the sheetrock fixed. And everybody's always bitching. And so the dialogue is always complaining instead of hey, let's get this done. Let's do this. And as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, as a leader, as a man, you have to start solving things and be the solution and not become the person that just regurgitates the fucking problem.
Yup.
See what I'm saying?
Everybody does.
Correct. And so that's why I'm rewiring my brain. Even my dad is, he was successful or is successful in construction. He still very much has that construction mentality of these fucking guys are too stupid. They won't fix this, And I'm like, dude, I don't want to live like that, bro. I just don't want to have that negative vibe my entire life. So I'm educating myself and doing all this stuff. I have 2 kids under 3 years old, like I said. I built these 2 spec houses, speculative investments, like I said. I went and got these loans. I was smart, though, in the case that I did one of the houses with a partner. Because I didn't want to I have a lot out there financially. I have a partner on one who's also a builder. And the reason we did that is because that house was going to get a ton of attention. We did it in a new neighborhood, and we did it as it's called the Street of Dreams. And you have to be a selected builder to be able to get into this block. And it's the first block of the newest neighborhood. And so we got it. And usually you blow the house out. You're talking like Thermador's giving you 50% off, all of the thing, marble tile, and everybody wants their product in the house because it's going to get seen by thousands and thousands of people.
Got it.
And I was like, I want in on that. Let me be a builder in there. And I did. I got in, and I was like, hey, told this other builder, I said, let's do this together so we can diversify at least the liability. So we did this one, and I, reading 10X, Grant Cardone, getting all jacked up, trying to be rich, I'm like, what's even better than that? I wonder if that developer will sell me another lot across the way, in the same area, but the other side of the neighborhood. It's not over here, but it's in the neighborhood, and I can get all that traffic and attention from that show home, and I'll sell that one on my own, and I'll build 2 in there, and I'll make $400,000+ on those 2 houses. That's literally where my mind's at.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fucking, what can go wrong? What can go wrong, bro? And so I'm like, this is genius.
Yeah.
And if it would have panned out like that, I would have done it again, right? Like just nature. I would have been like, double down. That was so sick, bro.
Why would you not?
Why would I not?
But
in 2018, houses weren't moving as much. And so we had this house finished, and I had my other one finished. And I'm living in my new house as a young adult, 30 years old, new father. And that house is worth probably $600,000 that I'm living in. Mm-hmm. This house over here was on the market. The one of my specs is on the market for $980,000. The other one over here is on the market for around $1 million plus. And so I have a lot of freaking debt out here. And I'm still doing some customs, so they're paying the bills, but all of my money essentially is going right back to these payments.
Yeah.
On these houses. We're talking $10,000, $15,000 plus a month, and money to me at that age was breaking me.
Yeah.
I'm working my ass off and having nothing to return. I'm just trying to pay this, stretching credit cards, figuring it out. And so we got an opportunity to sell the Street of Dreams house, the big one, and we took it. My partner's like, he's an older builder, so he was smart. He's like, dude, take the loss. Let's move. Let's do it. We got the marketing. Let's move on. So we did. I ended up having to bring a $60,000 check to the closing table. The realtor walked away with 40-something thousand. And so I realized really quick, I'm like, I don't know what I don't know. I wrote a check for 60 bands, me and him as a partner, so split it technically, but still it was a lot of money. We put a check down to get rid of the home because we didn't want to pay interest anymore. And the realtor walked off with a $40-something thousand, $45,000 check. And I'm like, she had zero liability the entire time.
And did fuck all.
Fuck all. Like just because somebody tripped over and said, I want to buy the house. And she negotiated the paperwork. I'm like, that was my first click of like, you need to figure something else out, bro.
So what you're telling me is somebody stole that house.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, they did a great job. I mean, we were ready to be done, bro. The bleeding needs to stop. You got to turn it off.
Yeah.
Take your losses when you take them.
A lot of people will ride that ship to the bottom.
Well, then that's how you go bankrupt. Like you got to move on. Take your losses and then go gain ground.
I think pride is a huge killer in business because you've got like, nope, I'm not taking a loss. We'll wait it out. But you're paying interest every month.
Hell no, my pride will not get in the way.
Burn it and go.
Numbers. Absolutely.
Burn it and go.
100%.
So you're learning a valuable
lesson right here.
Yeah.
Yes. So I got that one off the books. I can breathe. Of course, I have my house up for sale, the one I'm living in, and I have this other one for sale because I'm like, we're selling something. Tell my wife. She's like, whatever. Cool. Which one sells? The one I live in. $600,000 one, not the $980,000 one. Sell my house. I'm like, fuck yeah. I walk away with like $115,000 in profit. So now I'm kind of feeding back the coffers of being able to just breathe again. Mm-hmm. I move into the spec because I'm like, I'm not going to go buy another house, build another house, or do anything or rent. I'm just going to move into the house that I have on the market. And I'm going to keep it on the market. I'm going to keep it for sale. So my wife's literally having to deal with the stress of, I didn't realize how much it stressed her out until much later as we do deals and stuff and we talked. Yeah. But like, she's like, I just shut my mouth, but like I would cry myself to sleep a lot of times because like financially she felt super stressed and she has 2 kids under 3 and she's having to keep the house in tidy in shape because I'm keeping it fucking showing because we need to sell this motherfucker. And so I'm like, cool, let's do it. And so she just, ride or die, rolls up. We did it. We lived in that house for like 9 to 10 months and then finally got an offer and ended up making another $100,000 on that one. And mind you, like, just so you guys know mentally, I didn't have that 100,000 from the first one and then doubled it. Now I have a couple hundred in my account. No. I'm repaying the 30-ish fucking grand that I'm paid out on that and the interest that I had. So I'm burning it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so people that don't know own businesses know this. Because people in their head will be like, oh, he has like 500,000 in the account at 32. No, I did not. No. So, yeah, in business, you never really liquid a crazy amount of money, especially if you're pushing the ball, if you're trying to grow more. Like if you, in my mind, if you have a couple million and you're liquid and in most businesses, then you're not really pushing that hard in your business. You're kind of in conservation mode.
Got it.
Anyways, so I'm like, at that point, this is what's crazy. This is what I want you guys to understand too. If you've made it this long on the podcast, is really listen. Is during that time when we moved into that house, that $900-something thousand house, before I had it sold, I invested. My wife and I both agreed. We started doing research. We're listening to these investor books. I invested $52,000 that I did not have to put it on 2 company credit cards. Fortunately, I had credit limits decent because I would use them for the building company for lumber and shit. I put them on 2 company credit cards and I invested into a 2-year real estate program to learn real estate investing. And I would go out every quarter with my wife, her and I both together. And this is what made us so much closer, the financial times and the learning. And we would go because I was like, I'm not egotistical enough to be like, I just don't know something here. I will work till my fucking knuckles bleed. I will figure this out, but how much faster can I do it if I just learn from this guy or these people that have already done it?
So you signed up for
a real estate mastermind program.
Really?
Like, this is before gurus were on Instagram or YouTube or anything, because I wasn't even available this time. This was like when you went to hotel seminars, Tony Robbins OG stuff.
Yeah.
This is when you'd go out there and you would like learn, and they were literally a weekender class. We'd go to freaking Florida. They'd be at different spots and they'd pop up, and we would take them. We would go out there and we'd have our book and we'd PowerPoints, and we would literally learn, and we'd go back and apply. So that's how I got into real estate investing instead of just being a builder. It worked, bro. It worked.
Okay.
And so it worked big time because it gave me so much information I didn't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'll tell you how fast it worked. We went to one of the classes and it was teaching us how to do seller financing, which this was before any of this was mainstream or cool.
Yeah.
This is like, what the fuck is that? Like, I don't know. Like the only investors that I really knew were like the old dudes, like the nerdy old dudes. That's kind of how they used to be, really. It wasn't like the young guy in the Lambo.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't. And so we learned how to seller finance deals, meaning I could buy a property and then I could sell it to somebody else for more, and I could get a percentage down, and I could carry the loan, and I would charge more interest on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't rent it anymore. I seller financed it, like rent to own is what people may think of it as.
Got it.
So I learned that one concept, and I bought a property because I was trying to get into this investor stuff. So I bought the shit box down in Southside Oklahoma City, and because this is a property you buy, and I bought it, and I freaking couldn't rent it out. I'm like, oh my God, everything I'm learning, this isn't working. There's something I'm learning. Well, I went to one of the classes. They're like, you could seller finance it. So I turned around and sold that thing, seller finance, put 20 grand in my pocket, and was making like $300 or $400 in net cash flow a month with zero maintenance. And I was like, I'm getting it now. It's clicking. It's starting to click.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if I would have kept it as a rental, I would have got what? $1,000 deposit, and then $1,000 a month, and maybe make $200 or $300 in cash flow, and then have to pay for the maintenance.
Yeah.
So I'd have made nothing.
Yep.
Okay. But when I seller financed it, they put down 20 grand cash, and I still had equity. And so I turned around, and the interest payment was like, if you're going to finance for me, it's 10%.
What protects you if they stop paying? Then you get
the property
goes back to you then. So it's a win-win.
I realized what the banks do. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I started learning about the financing side.
So you're becoming your own little bank.
100%.
Okay.
I have a lot of these properties now. Now, that's when it started to catch on. Like, really, the best thing you can learn as an investor, this is where my mindset shift came from. It was I started to learn about the financing side. I started to learn about money. I started to learn about debt. I started to learn all these things. As a builder, I just would go to the bank and be like, hey, can I have a construction loan? I didn't know. I was like, oh, they're like, we need plans. I'm like, okay. Oh, we need an estimate. Okay. I didn't know what I was doing, bro. Nobody gives you a class on this.
You're just building it.
I'm just building it. And then when I started getting into the real estate investing world, I realized that like 50% of it was learning what the banks will loan you on, what types of loans, what lenders are there, what interest rates, what's the liability, what's an asset, how much equity, all these things.
Yep.
That's where I really learned, and I feel like I went from like 0 to 1,000 miles an hour is once I understood the numbers. Okay. Like the math behind the banking system and what you can and can't do legally and how things work for you.
Yep.
Anyways, let's go back. So I have the house, the big ass house I'm in, $980,000. I finally fucking sell it, and I cash out. I take $100,000 off the table, and I go move into a rental house just to catch some air. And so we negotiated that. During this period of time, the reason I went off on that tangent is because we had invested in that. We're starting to move into being investors now. I got smacked in the nuts pretty hard with that 2018 shit, and I'm like, I realize I need to learn more. So now we're like buying more property. We're doing more of what I just said. I'm wanting to make the 20 grand on the shit box downtown more than I care about being this big builder with a cedar sign and an F-250 Platinum. And so I started to be like, oh, dude, all these builders are just robbing Peter to pay Paul and all living this glamorous lifestyle, but I don't know how much they're really making.
Yep. And
then these investors over here wearing flip-flops and tank tops, and nobody knows who they are, but they're loaded. And they're literally living like freedom. They don't have to be there. I don't have no client I'm putting on a dog and pony show. Come into my office and sit at my freaking wood table. I was like, fuck
not
that, bro.
Not babysitting either.
I never wanted that. I only got into business. I only got into building because of that's all I knew.
Yeah.
Because that's how I grew up.
But you took that and evolved it into the next.
I did. I parlayed it for sure. I just kept moving. Yeah. People thought I was crazy because they're like, dude. On the outside looking in, they're like, you built this building company. You have multiple lots. You're doing all these things.
Got millions in the bank.
Yeah, it's in their mind, right? And I'm like, dude, you guys don't understand. This is a shit show. Fuck this. Like, I'm going to go and buy these turds. You're going to call me a slumlord. You can call me a slumlord all you want. I'm going to be on vacation.
Okay, if you're speaking of slumlords and you're buying turds, what's some of the craziest houses that you bought?
Oh, dude, I've had like
Oklahoma.
People like shitting in bathtubs because they turn their water off and then the house gets abandoned. Yeah. all sorts of stuff. Dead fucking animals. One time we had one that we bought, and there was a snake cage that was broken, and the snake was still in there, and my property manager found it. I had crazy shit. Dead animals, dude. Like fucking people lock up dogs in their garage and bounce. It's fucked up.
What?
Yeah, we reported people. Yeah, tenants, things like that.
Oh, hell yeah, I'd be reporting.
Yeah, we'll smash people for that shit.
Like, why not just let the dog out?
Exactly. They'll put him in the garage, they'll lock it. I'm like, dude, it's just in the winter, it's fucking cold, bro. Really cold in Oklahoma. In the summer, it's too hot, it would die. So people don't care. You just realize how horrible people are.
Yeah, and how people live.
Oh, bro, it's a whole nother deal. Too many people, if you're going to, like what I'm talking about, this was the entryway into investing and doing bigger stuff was... Everybody's like, oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't have somebody tearing up my house. I'm like, you got to detach your fucking thought process that it's your house. And then that's another reason people suck at investing at the beginning is because they think that everybody wants to live like them. And it's like, no, some people are just happy to have a home.
Oh, a roof over their head.
Correct. And so it's like, I did the math real quick. I really went from like the top 1% building for the top 1% of Oklahoma, right? The people that had the money to do $900,000 houses in 2016, 18, which is big houses. Just for perspective, I know money's different now. It's not worth as much. But in Oklahoma, that's a 5,500 square foot house on half an acre and a fucking pool, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's a nice property. That house today would be probably worth $2 million.
For sure.
You know, just in perspective.
So you went from that. You went from
that to literally buying the shitbox down there. And so I had to change my thought process. But what I realized is it was put really well to me. If you have a triangle and the most expensive property, what I was building, these one-offs, are at the top of the pyramid. And then you have market shifts. You have economic times. You have 2008s. You have job let-offs. If you're in Oklahoma, you have an oil gas company that lets off 1,000 people.
For sure.
In a month. And so now you have a freaking paradigm shift. And so what happens is you want to shift to the category below. And so what I was like, well, dude, I want to be on the bottom. I want to be on affordable housing. Because in America, as we all know now, we're all seeing, there's a massive issue with affordable housing. It's unaffordable. So there's a housing crisis that we will not be able to carve our way out of for the next 10 years because there's unaffordable and there's not a wage gap that's going to change it. And so I was like, well, then hell, I'm going to freaking make sure that I'm solid and I'm going to buy property on the bottom because everybody's going to be shifted down to that. And those people are happy to have a house, happy to have a rental, happy to have a yard. And these other people are going to walk away from the $950,000 house because they don't like the door color. You know what I mean? And so what do you want to do? Do you want to make money or do you want to entertain people? So I was like, fuck that.
Seems like a no-brainer.
It was a no-brainer. It literally was. When I started making the money like that, and I was still taking projects. So you guys that you hear the burn the boats, go all in on this. Well, yeah, and sometimes it's necessary, but then there's other times where it's like you got to make a lap move. You got to make a transition, especially I'm shutting the building company down. Like I'm no longer taking clients essentially. It's not like I had to oh, I'm not building for you anymore. We're halfway done. Here's the keys.
Yeah.
I'm just finishing the projects, not taking on any more. And the real epiphany for me was when we lived in the rental. We learned some investing stuff. I told you guys downstairs, and I only learned this through those classes, like in learning investing. We lived in a rental for 2 years. The guy wanted to kick us out 3 months before our next build was going to be. So this is the last house we lived in Oklahoma before we moved to Cali. I was building this 3-story house, baller house, pool, 4-car garage, pretty cool in an older neighborhood.
Okay.
Full custom plans. I have it on YouTube. If you guys ever go to my YouTube page, you can watch the video of the last house I had in Oklahoma. I designed everything. And so this house is going to be done in about 3 months. We're still living in this rental, waiting to move into that until it's done. I can't finish the project that fast. And so the guy's like, dude, I want out. I want to sell the house. Like, you guys are going to have to move out. And so I offered him, from my new knowledge that I had spent money on, I said, I'll buy the house cash $300,000. Went and raised the $300,000. I didn't have the $300,000. I went and raised the $300,000 because I'm building my house.
Yeah.
I'm raised the $300,000, paid the dude cash, turned around. Right before we moved to the new house, I put it on the market and I sold the house for $395,000. So we made $95,000. I paid the investor a few bucks that I took the money from. So he's happy to make 4, 5, 10, whatever it was, I think like $10,000 in 3 months on his money. And I was like, this is how it's done, bro.
No shit. So then it's starting to click.
It's starting to click even more. And now it's like making enough of an impact that I'm like, I don't even need these projects. I don't need these other jobs anymore. But I was still fearful of changing because I grew up in construction, man. There's like something about being so scared of seeing something else conceptualize.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I want you guys to understand, like, there was times, like, I did not know. We're old enough, dude. I did not know how to work from home. I mean, people are like, oh, I work from home. But like, I can do that now. But I thought I had to go to an office. I felt like I physically needed to go check jobs. Like I did not, if I'm not leaving the home and getting up at 6 a.m., I'm not working, you're not a man. Like it's not, it's like a programmed thing. And so I had a tough time trying to be like, oh dude, you can get on your laptop, find properties, make a phone call, send somebody over there and you can do these things. Like it was a lot for me to shift, bro.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
make money. So I had to grow a lot personally.
Rewiring.
And I had to grow a lot mentally, like financial education wise.
Absolutely. Which our education system does nothing to help.
No, I didn't learn any of this. And I even asked my dad, because he helped me on that very first house, right? The one I built. And so I asked him, I'm like, hey, I'm doing all this and that. And like, you know, this is what I'm doing. And I was like, why don't you do this? This is so cool. I'm telling him the numbers I'm making on this shit. And he's like, I just don't know anything about it. That's not what I know. Like he's an expert in his realm. And so most people just never click that they can do something.
That's how old school mentality. They just, nope, this is what I've done my whole life. This is what we're going to do. Like, and then I have a buddy that works with his dad and he's our age trying to be the entrepreneur. And he's like, Dad, let's bring this into, nope.
Never worked.
Hey Dad, what if we just pivot here and then take on that? Nope. And this is what we do. This is what we've done for generations. Yep. He's like, that's great, but times have changed. And his biggest battle right now is trying to convince his dad it doesn't need to be this and only this.
My only advice for him, man, is like what I did is I just said, okay, I mean, who am I to tell him what to do with his business? I better show him.
For sure.
I'm just going to have to do it. So that's what I did.
Well, good for you, dude.
Yeah, so we started doing investing. There's one time that my wife was like, she got her license, and we're doing off-market deals. We're doing real estate investing. She bought a property, ended up flipping it and selling the paper. Like we bought the property, took title to it, then sold it in 30 days, and she made like 25 grand on that deal. And I'm over here. I was still doing some remodels, like higher-end remodels, $400,000 remodels, just the remodel. And I was like, dude, I'm only gonna make X amount of dollars at the end of this year with these people. You know, doing 10% because they were friends.
After a year,
and then having to warranty this shit. And she made 25 fucking grand in 30 days. I'm like, I'm never fucking doing this again. So I just stopped. I finished all my projects, started doing full-time real estate investing, and then that compounded. And then I was like, people were asking me like, oh, dude, how are you doing this? Because people are watching. People are very funny. Like I had friends that came out later being like,
years later
being like, man, I really thought you were crazy. You stopped building. You had that big company. You made a name for yourself. I got on the board of directors at Central Oklahoma Home Builder Association at fucking 31.
Really?
So I was like moving and grooving in the building community. Yeah, I had a good reputation. You know, I come from construction. People knew my dad in there and other people I'd worked for.
Yeah.
And so I got on the board of directors really young. So they're like, dude, he's going to walk away from all of that and then he's going to go be an investor and do these shitty houses or whatever. We're going to watch. You know, they're just waiting.
Well, nobody cheers for the success. They always cheer for the failure.
The demise.
That's what they're watching for.
They are. Like, oh, we're watching for you. They really want to like.
Yeah, people watch.
They don't want it to work because they do. Well, what it will do is it'll challenge their thought process and that it was possible.
It makes it uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's crazy how the mind thinks like that. And,
it is.
And
it's that if you
mindset.
win, I can't win. And that's a mindset. That's what I preach about a lot now. Like, it's not true at all. Like, we can all win. Just because your buddy makes $1 billion doesn't mean you can't make $1 billion or whatever it is.
Yeah. Or why can't you ask for a mentorship? Or why can't you just watch 100%. And pick his brain instead of hating and just scrolling and watching from a distance in the shadows? Hey, dude, you're making moves. This is my biggest thing with men and pride. Like, dude, I see you and you're crushing life, and I'm like, yo, come out here and let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's how it should be. That's how I am still to this day.
And that's where I feel you're gonna make so much more progress in life. It doesn't even need to be business-wise, just knowledge-wise. But the majority, I want to speak for vets on this side of things, and I say it all the time because nobody hates a successful vet more than a veteran.
Yeah.
And it's the mindset. And I look at guys, I'm like, this dude's a Marine, like, fuck, crushing it. Bro, like, how? Let's have a conversation
all I ever
about
wanted
this.
To know. I was the same, but I was also never that guy either, and I don't think you were either. I was never shitting on anybody. I was always like, how'd you do that? If I walked into the gym and I see you fucking benching 500 pounds, I'd be like, how'd you do that?
Every one of my workout partners, like Zach, my boy I work out with now, giant ass gorilla. I'm like, yo,
how'd you do that? I want to do that. Yeah.
What? How do I hit the
same?
And
I was never.
It's not the fuck. Oh, I'm bigger than this dude. Oh, I make more. Oh no, he doesn't know what he's doing. It's like just ask a question, swallow the pride, whatever it may be, and just have a conversation and see what it opens up to you. We might sit down and you tell me everything. I'd be like, fuck that, not for me.
Yeah, 100%. That's okay. You'll learn what you do want to do, what you don't want to do, what you're good at, and what you're bad at.
Or it could be like, dude, I know a guy that can help with this, and then you're building connections.
That's how business is really done.
Dude,
real business with real people, genuine people. And I have to say, like, shout out to my mentors before they were called mentors or anybody, but like the guy that pushed me off to do the thing.
Yeah.
He slapped me in the head basically and was like, dude, you can do it. And I was like, wasn't my dad, you know what I mean, said that?
Yeah.
It was my buddies at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I learned from that guy and another guy that I like still hold as very good friends. And like one dropped out of high school and owned a landscaping company because he started mowing lawns.
Yep.
And the other one dropped out of high school, didn't even get a GED, and started in real estate. And that's the one that was going to back me on that first deal.
Some of the most successful people.
They were like, but they were the fucking first people to always be like,
do it.
Oh, dude, here's my CPA's number. Oh, here's my this number. They were so fucking volunteering, like whatever I needed. And he was like, oh, do whatever you need, dude. Yeah, I talked to this guy. Oh, don't do that. Oh, how do you hire? Well, I usually do this. Right now I'm figuring out this. I'm like, thank you.
Knowledge is power, man. Ask.
But I asked for it. And then what I realized too as a coach now, helping people with a lot of things, is that people will ask questions, but what's the worst is when they ask questions and they never take action on it. They never implement any of it.
That's got to be the frustrating part as a coach. I watch these guys. I have a couple buddies that are coaching. We both know TCAV.
Yeah. That's how we probably connected. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I love that dude. But, I was talking to him, and I think that was one of my questions offline that I asked him. Like, dude, you're mentoring all these dudes and like helping them. Like, what's the toughest part? He's like, then these motherfuckers don't take action.
I have people have put $10,000 in one of my education programs, my real estate education specifically when I started it, and they literally will not show up to like the third call. And I'm like reaching out to them because that's the type of person I'm like, hey man, you invested in this. Like, I want you to win, especially when I didn't have as big of a community. Yeah. Like, I'm like, hey bro, like, I want you to win. Like, here, you gave me this money. Like, I want you to win. And they're like, oh man, I'm sorry. I just got busy. This is going on. I'm like, this is crazy. I want you to succeed more than me. Yeah. But you know what? I realized that before people handed me $1. Friends were asking me. That's what I was going to get at in a minute. The rest of the story is like how I got into the coaching in the first place was because one, I got a coach before it was a mainstream guru bullshit thing. Like I went to that program.
Oh, okay.
So those were basically coaches, what they call coaches, right? Yeah. Basically, those were as a mentorship program.
Yeah.
That's how I learned real estate investing. So when I am telling people to invest in themselves, I literally have done it myself. I put my money where my mouth is. I stretched those 2 credit cards out just to do the $52,000 program. That was my first investment. But my thought process was this, bro. I was like, I got a VA. What is it? Like you get your VA school benefits, right? I could go back to school again. I still have stuff on there. Even though I got an associate's, I could go back and get a bachelor's. I don't want to do that. I'm already making money as a builder. I'm doing something. And I was like, well, why don't I, that's not going to teach me to be wealthy. This isn't going to teach me to be wealthy. What's going to teach me to be wealthy? What's going to teach me? How will I learn unless I ask these questions? At least try. Yeah. So I was like, fuck it. I'm putting my money down and I learned it. And then what happened was to go back to the scenario, like from stop being a builder to being an investor to making bigger money and changing my life and understanding all this. Guess who comes out of the woodwork? All of your friends. They all want to learn that type of stuff, but they're never willing to do the work. And when you give away all the sauce for free, they're the ones that don't do anything. How many times have you told friends how to lift? Have you told friends how to eat? Have you told friends how to do all these things? Start a podcast, all of it. You could go, I could say, bam, can you put together a spreadsheet and a Loom video and tell me all about your podcast? And you would be like, sick. Yeah, that's going to be so fun. And then if I don't go do it, you're going to be like, God damn, what a fucking idiot. Like, why did I waste my time? And so that's what happened. It's like I had buddies that were at my CrossFit gym. I had buddies that were at other gyms I would go to, or friends in general. Dude, can we go to lunch? Can we get a coffee? How do we do this? And I'm excited because I want people to win.
That's the worst part.
Yeah. One of my mentors said it best to me at the beginning, the guy that pushed me to buy that first lot.
Yeah.
I said, why? I had this small mind mindset, and some of y'all watching this, if you've made it this far, you fucking need to shift it, because if you have this, I was like, so why do you want me to win? You don't want me to be a real estate investor. Wouldn't I be competing against you? Or you wouldn't be a builder. Wouldn't I be competing against you? Was my mindset. Because he was a real estate guy. And he was like, bro, I like, we hang out. We're friends at the gym. We go to dinner together. Like, why would I not want you to win? Like, I want to hang out with my friends more. He goes, I have all this time and I run business and I have fun.
Yeah.
Like, and you can't even get off work working for your dad. Like, you're out in Podunk, Oklahoma running equipment. Like, why would I not want you to win? And I was like, oh. So I changed my frame of mind. And so that's how I felt with my friends. I'm like, dude, I'll give you everything. I'll pour it. Here's the banks. Here's the lenders. Here's how you do it. Oh, you need some contracts. You need it, whatever you need. I got you. Buy this house over here. I'm not going to buy this one, but this is a good one for you to look at.
Good starter.
Go look at it. Yeah, go check it out. They don't do anything. Nothing. No action, bro.
All mind.
Oh, I'm too busy. I'm too this. I'm too that. Oh, the excuses. I don't think people are. There's so many people that are smarter than me. I'll speak for myself. Like, but they're just not fucking willing to do what it takes, bro. No. If there's anything that I learned that I would transition back to saying that I learned from the Marine Corps and who I am is like, I'm just willing not to quit. Like,
so that's
who cares?
That's the
or look like an idiot. Who cares? People are like, what if you go bankrupt? I'm like, yeah,
I go bankrupt.
Then I'll do it again twice as fast.
Yeah.
One of those guys that I'm talking about went bankrupt. And I said, dude, were you not scared? What happened? He's like, dude, I actually made more money in the next 2 years after I got bankrupt because I learned what not to do. And I was like, well, that totally obliterated my fears.
Yeah. That's how it works.
But how do you expect to get rich or how do you expect to do anything if you never even try or even apply?
The thing that I have realized, and I don't know if you've picked up on it yet, when I'm talking to these dudes, like I'm talking wealth, like 500 million worth in the bank, money. Like legit money guys. They're just as fucking dumb as we are.
I know.
They are dumb from the bottom to the top. They
1,000%.
just, what worked, they never stopped.
Yep.
They never quit. They never gave up. They have this weird, sick mindset where it becomes an obsession to overcome whatever it was. They don't know the secrets. That's the secret sauce, is never quitting. Because I'll sit down with these guys and I'm sitting at the table with them. I'll leave and be like, how the fuck?
How'd you get here? Well, because
this guy's dumb as shit.
Because what made him wealthy or got him his money 4 years ago may not work at all right now. That's what's crazy. He cannot literally give you any specific narrow advice. It's like, I promise this will work.
Except for whatever you're digging into, don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's all it takes. But we get so frustrated. You get down because numbers aren't moving. Sure. You don't think that the growth is where it should be. And then you start that little cancer in your head. And then it starts festering. And then all of a sudden something shiny comes new. And you're like, ooh, I'm going to go this way. We're going to pivot. But you're only year 2 in, year 3, which you haven't even started the momentum yet. Like that doesn't come till year 5 plus.
True.
Until that. But I feel most people just give up because it sucks, bro. Like,
it's hard.
It sucks. Being an entrepreneur, we've been in the philanthropy world, with the charity world for a long time. Dude, it fucking sucks, bro. Like this whole glamorized TikTok, Instagram, like I'm an entrepreneur. Look at this and look what I got.
Hey, there's one thing I realized through this though, and you can attest to this, is there's a lot of entrepreneurs. There's a lot of fucking people that pretend to play business. And I'm like, you look big, you drive this car, you do this stuff. I noticed that with the real estate investing space. There was a lot of younger crowd that was learning the stuff, and they're all entrepreneurs. They would play business. Real estate agents are another one. They're all playing business. They're like, I did 50 million in transactions last year. I'm like, okay, but 50 million, you gave your broker's fee was 3%. You did this. Like, what'd you really? Oh, $75,000. Congratulations. You made 75 this year. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Like, be real, but don't be like, oh, I made 50 million in front of some rented car. Like, is what people assume,
100%. But
there's so many fakenpreneurs, bro.
It is just, but those are the ones that they want the life, but they won't dive in.
Yeah.
They will not go all in.
Never go hard enough at it. No way. Because it's hard.
Dude, it sucks.
Yeah. I could be crushing it for 3 or 4 years and be sucking wind.
We should, let's shift this conversation to the real side of being an entrepreneur. Because
100%.
I don't feel that enough people talk.
Well, I talked about mine. I mean, I talked about like literally during that period of time, like when I go back and I'm telling you I'm selling that $980,000 house, like I'm sucking wind. Like I'm going broke. Like it's hard for me. I'm barely making it by. But I needed that lesson.
People are listening. Oh, he's selling a $900,000 house. He wasn't struggling.
No. It doesn't matter. This is what people need to understand.
You don't see what you're carrying. You don't see the loans that you're already
1,000%.
You're hemorrhaging shit everywhere.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you look at your bank account. You're like, bro, we
got fucking nothing.
We got to start selling guns or something to pay these bills.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we might need to call dad to carry us
get a loan or pay. Yeah.
But that's the life we choose.
100%. I would rather have that though, bro. Freedom. Than a job.
Freedom.
Yeah.
I would rather know that I have no idea when the next paycheck's going to come.
Yeah.
I would rather live the life knowing that I can go to the gym whenever the fuck I want.
Yep.
I can travel whenever I want.
There's no price for that.
There's no price for that. But that's the mindset that comes with the doubt, the fear, the questioning. Are we doing the right thing? When are we going to pay how are we going to pay these bills next month? Like, yo, we need to chill here. my wife will check me all the time too, because we're in that phase right now, you know, like
you got to keep yourself from getting to that dark hole. And I'm telling you right now that it doesn't ever go away. Like
No.
it will always come back. Like there's times where you feel like you're on top of the moon, and then there's other times where you feel like you're freaking, it's over.
Bro, I went from
Always
zero.
goes like that.
I built a security company from 0 to 9 million in less than a year, and 2 years later, fucking walked from it all.
Yeah.
It started all over again. And like, dude, the pay you know those days when you're just looking at your bank account, dude, and you're just printing money, and you're like,
yeah, you're like, oh, we're crushing it, bro.
and then a year later, you're like,
what? Where did the money go?
We gotta chill. Like, hey, we need to start tightening.
That's okay.
But that's
man.
being an entrepreneur.
It is.
That's the reality of it that I feel a lot of these people don't talk about. But it also, when you get into it, that's what scares you away from it, because especially if you're leaving a 9 to 5, you got a guaranteed paycheck. You're sitting in your little cubicle, miserable as fuck.
I never had that, right? Like for the most part, I had a job working for my dad, but other than that, I only told you yesterday, I think that I worked for somebody else for 3 days out of my entire life. And my dad being an entrepreneur after he went to college, this is a good example. He became an engineer, very smart guy, very practical too, because he grew up as the father that was blue collar.
Yeah.
So he could use his hands, and he was formally educated. He got laid off when we moved to Oklahoma. I talked about moving from Kansas to Oklahoma. Well, the reason we did is because my dad took a new job, got transferred there for it, and then he freaking gets laid off in the first 9 months, and that's what made him get into start his own construction company. Oh, shit. And my grandfather, his dad, he owned his own construction company too. So I come from, my wife and I have talked about this because a lot of people ask us these questions, is like, well, why was it? I think it may have been easier for us to settle with the unknown because our whole family has kind of had the unknown.
See, my kids, they're raised in this life.
Yeah,
my kids do not know what a 9 to 5 job is.
Correct. Yeah,
we've had them, but
Marine Corps is the closest thing I had to a 9 to 5, and that was not 9 to 5. But
yeah, I do not consider the military 9 to 5.
Or working for my dad, but still, it was like it was more than 9 to 5. I can guarantee that.
But the fact that your kids, my kids, these children, that this is one of the benefits of raising children and an entrepreneur, they're gonna see you struggle.
Yep. I saw it. I grew up with my parents. My mom was doing the books. My dad would be like, I remember my mom telling us when he got laid off from his engineering job. She's like, I regret telling you guys this, but we were young, and she was like, we may not have like a big Christmas. You might just be happy with what you get.
Absolutely.
And I remember being like, and by all means, I didn't grow up poor. I'm sure there's plenty of other people who have horrible times and come from nothing. I'm not saying that I did.
Blah, blah. We all have.
Entrepreneurs, like, I was like a good perspective. She was just like, hey, your dad lost his job. We're going to try to do this construction company thing. And the shit's going to be different for a little while.
It's chasing the dreams.
We're like kids. Okay.
No, cool, whatever. But then you don't appreciate it as a kid. But now you look back and you're like, I get it now, because
totally we've
all had to do it. Hey, we got to.
Said something a second ago I wanted to touch on about like you were sold a $980,000 house, and like people may think, oh, you weren't struggling. But I want to put some shit in perspective, because when I was going through those times, like mentally, as the leader of the household, having these 2 babies at home, having this new wife I promised the world to, and just put her in a house that we couldn't afford, basically. Yeah. I couldn't sleep. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like waking up 3 a.m, like fucking why? I shouldn't be sleeping. It's like a work ethic we have from the Marines and probably genetics, but it's like, what can I do to make money right now? Like I better get to the office and do something, send some emails or do something, because sleeping is not an option at this point if you're worried. Yep. So I couldn't sleep. And sometimes I'd go do cardio and I'd listen to books. I'd just go down the treadmill at the gym and I'd just be listening. I'm like, I need to learn something new. I need to start learning how to get myself out of this. Or I'd go to my office and just, like I said. Yeah. And what I realized though is like I had this epiphany, and I always share this with everybody, and it's important. It's like, so people, you've heard of Sears, right? Sears, okay? You've heard of Toys R Us. You've heard of Kmart. Mm-hmm. You've heard of Enron, right? All these companies, these are multi-billion-dollar operations at one point, or at least close to it. Or multi-million-dollar operations. Imagine being the CFO or the COO or the owner, if it's a private sector company, and then it crumbling like that, and you being responsible for 10,000 plus employees and paychecks. Yeah. So if that stress is hard, then I'm over here crying. I realize like you can get really upset about a $10,000 problem, and then you'll get to a point where you have you have a $100,000 problem, then you have $1 million problem, and the $100 million problem, and that problem will always feel the same, because when you don't have any money and you don't have, and your $10,000 problem, it'll break people. People will commit suicide because they're broke at that point from the same concept. So what can you change in this aspect? Yeah. That's just what I thought about, bro. This is like one of these things that came to me. It's probably God. And I was like, okay, the only thing I can change in this aspect is like, I can't guarantee that if Austin becomes worth $500 million that he doesn't go bankrupt. Yeah. You can't guarantee it. It happens all the time. Or you're going to have a struggle. So the only thing you can change is you and how you process this. Mm-hmm. and who you are. It goes back to that. And so if that's the case, then the money's going to be there. Money's not going to be there.
And it all feels the same.
It will feel the same. The stress will feel the same.
The success feels the same. I mean, it's.
And then when you're like us, that's when you learn gratitude and you learn to be like, oh my God, I got 2 beautiful daughters and a wife that loves me. And if we had to live in an RV, we would.
And they would love it.
And you're like, you know what?
Time of our life.
You know what? Fuck it.
Because I ain't working for the fucking man.
Exactly.
That's my biggest.
That's the thing for people to think about and apply, to get through it, because it will. Let's say now we've met. Let's make a company. We make a company. We do 200 million in it. We start crushing it. But things go south. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like, you're gonna have to figure it out. So that feeling's not gonna be any different.
No, I agree.
So it's who you are and who you become through that process. And so that's what helped me get through those harder times. And so people think. You said $980,000 house. It made me think of, like, people don't understand. Like, you can go broke at being a multi-millionaire. Yeah, you catch the wrong lawsuit. Certain things happen. Market shifts. Absolutely.
I'm trying to get a guy on right now. Local dude, badass guy. Dude, he said anything he touched. And we had dinner a while back, but he's like, everything I touched turned into a golden egg. He's like, I was printing millions. We're fucking building a 10,000 square foot home. Overnight, lost everything, ends up living back at his parent-in-law's house.
That's crazy. See? That's exactly my point.
Built it all back.
Yeah.
It's all mindset.
But the only way he was able to build it all back is because he experienced it, man. It's just like anything else. Like, if we learn to run or you learn to, shoot rifles the correct way, it's from doing it the wrong way at first. Mm-hmm. But we're just willing to be stupid at first.
Where people stop is that first failure.
Oh, yeah. Because it's crippling.
Or the first loss.
Well, most people's fear... I had one of my mentors actually dove into this with me, because I did have a problem when I started making money. I didn't want to fail anymore, right? You get fearful, and that's where most people pull back, and that's also what keeps them from breaking the next glass ceiling.
Yep.
But it's really what's truly there is, like, I'm not really scared of failing myself, and you're probably not either. Like, really, we're not scared of failing ourselves, but what human nature does is we're actually scared of failing in front of other people. Like, I'm not myself if nobody knows. Like, how many guys in here say they're going to go to the gym, say they're going to lose weight? This is just the most basic thing in the world. But then if they don't tell anybody, they're like, no harm, no foul. We're crushing pizzas and we're doing our thing, and my wife didn't know. But when you put it out there, you're like, oh, shit, I'm failing in front of everybody. I don't want to be that clown that said he was going to lose 100 pounds because I'm overweight, and that doesn't.
Nope.
But if you never tell anybody, it doesn't really do anything. You just failed yourself. Mm-hmm. And so most of the time, human nature just keeps us, we're fearful of failing in front of other people, the perception, the tribal mentality, the human nature. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, you would never care if you tried to shoot for 500-pound bench, and then you're like, man, I kept working for it, but I didn't make it. No big deal. You'd go home the same way, be happy as a lark.
Yep.
But if you were on national TV and everybody's like, oh, Bam's gonna hit the 500, you're like, failed. You're like, damn, that really fucking sucked. You know what I mean? So rewiring that.
100%. You have to rewire that. Like. So I don't, we have a lot of new listeners. I've probably mentioned this in the release, but like Wild Chaos was a failed company at first. Launched with a buddy of mine, went south. We just had 2 different life paths, literally going opposite direction. And I let it sit dormant, dude. And I took it personal because it ripped. And if we would have kept it going now, bro, be
killing it.
We'd be set. But it failed. Like, okay.
What can you do? Move on.
Who fucking who?
Yeah.
I would rather say I have failed company. I have failed trying.
Yeah.
Than sitting in your desk.
Never even tried.
Never tried.
Can you imagine?
Never try.
No, I'm more fearful of being on my deathbed and saying that I didn't try than I am fucking failing 100,000 times.
Facts.
100%.
And I would rather have my kids watch me fail and try and fail and try, or try and fail, and then one sticks. They see that. And I mean, our kids we're doing it with our kids right now. Like 100%. We could fail this, we could fail our bake, and our kids are failing with us. But at this, I look
learning
at it,
though.
They're learning.
You're learning.
They're learning everything, and they get to watch and they get to see that. It's like as a father, and this is just my point of view on it. I would rather my kids see me failing and trying rather than just being complacent and going to my 9-to-5 job, coming home miserable, bitching about it, not doing anything to change your life. That's why I got out of the Marine Corps. I fucking hated it.
What's super important, dude, is like what you just said, and this is what people need to write down when you're watching this, is like when you go and do that, though, what's the most important for your kids to watch is they see you fail, but they see you get back up.
Yes. And it's not even a big deal.
Exactly.
It's not nobody cares.
Yep. Because if you failed and you went back to corporate, you gave up. Like, or if you
That's
fail
worse
and you
than
do
me.
this, you get
That's worse.
1,000%.
I would rather lose.
Say, well, I'm doing it for my family. And here's the other thing, though. I want to tell everybody this. Not everybody needs to be an entrepreneur.
No.
Because this is not for everybody.
Not everybody's
we need
built
great
for it.
people to work for us, work with us as well.
Absolutely. 100%.
So, but just don't flap your mouth about how you want freedom and you want to do all these things at the same time ask for permission to get off work. Like, you have to understand the difference.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay. Work for a company that you want to be a part of. We all need team players. Like fire teams in the Marine Corps, special operations groups. It's not just ran by one
Worker
person.
bees can run the hive.
Correct, 100%.
Okay? Like
so that's okay for that. But don't say I want to go get wealthy or I want to have this version of success and then be the person that never applies yourself.
You just have to accept either you're cool being a worker bee your whole entire life or you want to go out and be an entrepreneur.
And I know those guys.
No,
They're good. And I love those dudes too.
I'm not throwing shade on it.
Hell no. That's what I just want to make sure it's important. It's like, no, good for you.
I've tried to bring buddies on, and this is not for them. It's too stressful.
It is super stressful.
No structure. I mean, dude, I think we've said it probably 5 times. Like being an entrepreneur, it sucks.
Yep.
It sucks. And then you get these high highs. You're like fucking crushing. Then we got to pivot. That's where, and it's hard to explain because people are gonna be like, bro, you're sitting here saying being an entrepreneur sucks. It's stressful. Your anxiety. You don't know when you're going to pay your bills. I wouldn't change it for the world because I have freedom.
Yes, you have freedom, and I don't think you'll ever learn yourself any other way.
No,
like, you never learn who you really are and what you really believe, and challenge your own thought processes unless you do that.
Mm-hmm. And not everybody's built for it.
It's okay,
but it's awesome. But if you have that drive and you're sitting there at your 9 to 5, listening to this podcast, you're like, bro, this sucks. Start something.
And that's moving on to what I do now, like what I'm doing too. I still own a bunch of real estate. I still have a service business in Oklahoma. And I've gotten myself, that's why I was able to move to California, pretty much work virtual. I still have most of my operations in Oklahoma when it comes to real estate and business. And now I started to do on the online space. So those friends that would take all my information and not do anything. Other people that didn't know me when I started putting myself on Instagram and stuff like that would be like, dude, I'm willing to pay to learn this stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I paid to learn this stuff. I'm going to charge you too, because it's going to make you have a financial, you're going to cut a check to be invested in this like I did, because I would have not shown up if it were free to the real estate thing. But I paid $50,000. You're damn sure I'm going to show up.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get it back.
A lot of money. Yeah.
So it's more. And so I started doing the coaching specific to real estate, and then it got even further, and I started to realize like real estate is important. There's very tactical information. I still teach people this stuff, but what's even more important and what we've created now is the foundation of what we talked about, like the personal confidence that I had to get to in order to even take that first step, which is kind of what we were talking about a minute ago. Like you have to have some confidence in yourself. If you don't believe in anything else about yourself, your physical condition, your mental, your mindset with it all, then you're never going to be successful with the information, the tactical information. And truly, there's a lot of people who made a lot of money, but are still very insecure people.
A lot of people have gotten lucky making money.
Yeah, or they're just good. There's some people that are just good at making money. And I had some guys, I joined some high elite entrepreneur groups through over these period of times that I told you guys. And it was crazy to me that I would see these guys doing 20, 30, $50 million at these tables and stuff. We were very open and transparent. And at the same time, you could just tell that they're insecure. They're very insecure because what happens is that they're standing on one vertical of their life. And they're like, I've never been cool. I've never been popular. I've never been good looking. I've always been out of shape, but I make a fuck ton of money. And that's what I get my attention for. So I stand on that. And then they start falling apart with everything else. And so when it comes to success, people need to define what is their version of success, and it will change and it will adapt as they achieve it.
For sure.
And then we need to figure out like what's going to get you there. And I would never trade who I am and what I've been through or the confidence that I have as a man that walked into those rooms for any amount of money, because I know the guys that had a lot of money but are still very inconfident, weak, disgusting people. So that's what we build now. Is I just target specifically to men. I work directly with them in our community.
Doing what? Explain what.
So we build the guy up from the ground up, like
really?
What I needed. Yeah. So we're going physical fitness. We're doing fucking getting a routine down, get the confidence, getting in shape, and then we're also adding a financial aspect because that's all I talk about a lot of times anyway.
How important is physical fitness as somebody that's wanting to change their life, become an entrepreneur?
It's the first step. It was the first step for me. I met my mentors at the gym. I met the guys that were doing more at the gym. But here's the thing. I tell everybody, like I just said it a second ago, you don't have to be fit to get rich. That's obvious.
No.
Bezos, all these guys. But you cannot deny from the nature of man, the human nature of man, like, would you rather be the dude with the six-pack that walks out of whatever dream home you have, whatever pool you have in your backyard, whatever life you have, whatever restaurant it is, Or would you want to be the dude that's freaking 60 pounds overweight coming out of the Lambo? Like, you just, no guy will ever say that they want to be that guy.
No.
But they'll deny it because they'll hold the money in front of your face. And the truth is, that's not what they really want.
No, deep down.
Because it's a lot harder to do that sometimes than it is to make money. There's more multimillionaires in this world than there are people that are in shape. And then here's the other dichotomy with this, bro.
I just heard that.
It's a true fact.
There's more millionaires.
Than there are people with six-pack, 1,000%. What's crazy, though, so I had two perspectives. I was an entrepreneur group over here, multimillionaires. I barely made the threshold to get into the group. You had to be, at the time that I got in, you had to be doing a gross $1 million in your business. And so I barely made it in there. Now I'm cooking and cruising, and I'm hanging out and getting real game.
Okay.
These guys are all insecure because they're all out of shape and ugly a lot of times. Just being honest. Like, they devoted their entire lives to their business, and then they let everything else fall. Mm-hmm. And then over here, I was at CrossFit gym hanging out with dudes. Some of them were going to the games. Some of them were doing all these things. And what was mind-blowing, bro, is when I would go hang out with these guys, you know what the entrepreneurs would say to me? Oh, what are you going to go? Are you going to hang out with us this weekend or whatever? Or are you going to go to the gym? They talk shit. But they're the same dudes that wanted to get fit every January on their list of what we were trying to work on. I need to drop 30 pounds. I need to drop 20 pounds. So I'm like, okay, those dudes talk shit on me going to the gym because I'm in better shape than anybody in the room.
For sure.
And then over here, I would show up in a $150,000 vehicle to CrossFit, and they'd be like, oh, Austin's trying to shove his money in our face. So you got the fit guys that are fucking insecure about money because they're a goddamn retarded cop, and they just want to because they never tried.
Yep.
No offense to cops, love cops, but my point is like that you didn't try.
No.
You didn't try.
They're complacent.
They're complacent. And so what do? They stand on how in shape they are, but they have no money.
Yep.
And then these people stand on how much money they have. So I was like, dude, whoever sold men that you can't have both? That's the biggest fucking lie.
Yep.
It's the biggest fucking lie.
And it comes down to self-confidence.
It does, man. That's what I said a second ago. Like, that's where I'm going with it is like, I would never give up the self-confidence of myself walking into those rooms and seeing the look on their face, the entrepreneurs that are doing 50 million and just, you've seen the feeling. You're in shape. Like, you've seen people that are just like immediately kind of intimidated and there's, how big's your company? And you're like this, like, I don't know. Fuck, it's all right. Like, I don't really care. I don't have to prove myself to you, dog.
I love those dudes.
You see it. You can feel it.
Those dudes. Oh.
Yeah, it's the same concept too to the gym. Like, there's jacked as fuck dudes at the gym all the time, you know? And then you roll up in a car or something, or you do well, and they're kind of like, judgy. It's just people always want to insult their weaknesses. But what I'm telling you guys and what I help people do is I show them that they don't have to have those. You just made a choice.
Yeah. 100%.
You made a choice that I can have this or this. And I don't know who the fuck sold anybody on that you have to have this or this. Mm-hmm. You don't.
Do you feel a lot of guys just get so engulfed in the mindset that they put everything else to the side, like it's the money?
Yes.
And then they're not worrying about their before you know it, you're 5 years into your business and you're 60, 70 pounds overweight.
Yep.
And then you're like, fuck.
Then there's a dude in the middle too. The dude in the middle that's just like us in some aspects. You know what he says? This guy in the middle, I've ran into him all the time too. These are all like an avatar of a person, bro.
Yeah.
But it's the guy that's like, oh, well, I spend time with my family. And that guy's a liar too. It's like, well, your kid, do you really want to be the example of your kid to your kids, watching the NFL game every Sunday, eating chips and drinking beer, being fat, and also being broke? Yeah. Like, is that the example you're showing your kids? Like, you as a father are showing your kids to be entrepreneurs. Like, you're inspiring them. You're doing the thing, And it's like this guy's over here justifying his position in life because he's a father, so he dedicates his time to them. Mm-hmm. This guy's over here fit and saying he doesn't need money. He's making fun of money people. This guy's over here making money, and he says he doesn't need to be either. I'm like, God damn, why did you guys decide to select this avatar? Because you can literally work on all verticals.
For sure.
If we're playing video games back in the day, bro, I don't want the character that's good at one thing and bad at all of them. I want the guy that's turned up on all levels. And I just always believed that.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Always believed that. Like, you wouldn't want the guy that's like, oh, he's really strong, but he can't run. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what people do is they'll justify their weaknesses or the things. It's really not even their weaknesses. It's the things that they don't want to fail at. Because if you're really good at business, and then you don't want to look like an idiot over here at the gym. Right? And if you're really good at the gym, you don't want to be, it's what you talked about a minute ago. You just never had a problem saying, hey man, how'd you do this?
Yeah. Never.
Me neither.
Never.
Me neither. When guys rolled up in a car at Cars and Coffee, I'd be like, bro, what do you do? Like, that's sick.
I think half the dudes that have been on my podcast from the gym, because I see them like, yo, what do you do?
Exactly.
Well, how are you here at 12 in the afternoon? You just rolled up in a fucking Mercedes. Like, what do you do?
I want to know what you do, bro.
Instead, I feel the norm now, because with social media, everybody's so quick to hate. They're like, this fucking guy flexing. Oh, look at this idiot.
Right, rinse that.
But instead,
whatever they think.
Leases it. I don't care if he does. He can afford the lease on it.
That's another thing. That's hilarious. Bro. I always tell people
that lease is
I'm like, when people say
$2,800 a
month or whatever. I was like, dude, I would be so rich if I rented my cars. I'm like, do you know how much it would cost to rent a Lambo a day? Like $2,500. Do that times 30. I was like, fuck that. That's a $50,000 a month payment. You guys are stupid.
Poor mind.
Stop being so poor in your mind.
That's it. It's poor mind.
Make that math out. Really think what you're saying.
I feel a lot of it. If your mind automatically goes to the negative, we might have talked about it. The video that's been going around, and this is where you have poor mindset is a mindset. And that dude's in that supercar at a gas station, and he's walking out, and the woman that works at the gas station holding that trash bag, and she goes, "You don't even have tags on your plate."
Yeah.
And he's like, out of everything that she saw here,
she's looking for the thing she could get you with.
The one negative.
Yep.
Instead of beautiful car, man. What do you do for a living?
Exactly. It is. Yes, exactly.
And how many conversations could open up into something else?
Absolutely, dude. You never know what opportunities are there. You never know what somebody's done or gone through or who they are.
It's so sad, man. I got into a groove for a while. I ended up with my security company, and dude, I was on top of it. You know how it is being young and just printing money. And,
yeah.
And then you lose. It took me a while to recover because I took it personal because I put so much. I was so passionate about that.
Yeah.
And then that's what shifted me into the organization, the charity world, and then all the other little things that we were doing. But it's like, now it's like, okay, get everything lined out, get everything back on track.
Yeah.
But I could see how people could get into that woe is me mindset. But then at the same time, it's like, then that's where you're stuck. That's your ceiling, is whatever your mind is limiting you to the growth wise. But failing, it doesn't even scare me, honestly. Like, it sucks.
Yeah.
But you can't even fear it because it's part of the process.
100%.
And then if you fail,
why do we expect to be good at any right out of the gates, bro?
Because social media, you're just seeing.
But even before social media, subconsciously as men,
I think it's worse now because you never see failures.
I tell people this. I'm like, dude, how'd you learn to swim? They're like, oh, I don't know. I was a kid. Well, yeah, you fucking started looking like an idiot. And right, how'd you learn to ride a bike? Right. So why would you not? This is my thing with the finance side, is why would you not ever invest in learning how to fucking make more money?
Or save
or at least understand the concept. Even if you're going to keep a job forever, at least understand more.
Yeah.
The fucking name of the quarterback that won this X game, or who's playing this weekend, or who's fighting this weekend. You know those guys, but you don't even know anything about debt. And yet you have fucking house or your real estate or fucking business, bro.
I love that you said that because I look at those dudes, we all know the fantasy football guys. You can tell me every stat and number on every player on your fantasy football team, and you have all of this time, but your broke ass won't take the time to sit there and learn day trading.
Exactly.
Learn crypto, learn stocks, learn something. You're investing all this time and staring at a screen, watching another man run around a field. betting on his stats.
Who's making fucking money, dude? That guy's making money.
Wow, bro, you won your fantasy football league this week.
Yeah.
But if you would have taken that
guy, yeah.
And I'm not throwing shade on sports people. I am.
I'm always shitting on that.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It doesn't make sense because I look at those guys no, I'm not even sitting down on a Sunday, and the only time I ever watch sports when my little one loves just sitting and watching. I'm like, fuck.
I get invited to the Padres game a couple times. It was fun. I'm with my family. I'll go there.
Go and enjoy it, but I can't tell you a stat of a single athlete in any sport.
Yeah.
Any sport. But these dudes, they have it, but then they sit there and they bitch about their bosses. They hate going to work.
But they don't invest any time to change it.
No, but they'll invest all the time in the world into that little fantasy football league. Why don't you take that time and energy and just pick something that you're kind of passionate about or something that might interest you? Hey, you know what? All of this time and energy, me learning Tom Brady's fucking stats that I can rip off, no questions asked. I'm going to sit down and start watching some courses on YouTube that provide everything that you can ever need.
Yep.
But they won't do it.
Yep. 100%.
And they just go through the cycle.
Over
and over again.
Yep.
And before you know it, they're like, "Oh, fucking Austin. Yeah, he rents his cars.
Must be nice.
Must be not.
Must be nice, man."
I am on the verge. I think we should make this a movement. If people say "must be nice," that you can get slapped for it.
100%.
You should be able to get slapped for telling somebody "must be nice."
Yeah, because you don't ever know where they come from.
Insulting shit. That to me is.
It's trying to take away all of what they've done.
It's discrediting you.
It is. Yep.
Must be. What's nice? The times that I was counting quarters with my wife and pennies
to
pay lights. Granted, we chose this life.
So it is nice. It is fucking nice.
It is nice.
You're damn right.
It is nice that I get to do this with my kids.
Yep.
'Cause I chose this life.
Yep.
It is
100%.
fucking nice. You know what it is.
Nice.
But that's the mindset.
Absolutely, dude. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Instead of good for you. How long did that take? How hard? What?
Not everybody says must be nice, right? There's a lot of people.
It's a lot, though.
You, but it is.
You hear it a lot.
For sure.
Hear it a lot.
Yep.
Sitting there, man, well, tell me about this. Oh, that must be nice. Like that's one of those icks for me where I just want to turn and be like, yeah, it is fucking nice, bro.
Yep.
Especially when they have their dead end, they hate their life, and then it must be nice.
It is nice, and that's the reason I want. And people get it twisted too. They think like, oh, dude, if you have nice cars or you have a big house or whatever, like he's just materialistic. He doesn't get it. And even Christians will go down this route and all this bullshit. And the reality is like, no. The reason I wanted to make money in the first place is because I realized that it was actually a tangible thing that could help me gain more freedom because I didn't want to be told what to do.
Freedom.
Only reason. And then the people I think that make the bigger money, like crazy money, they are playing a game to win. Like the Elons, like these guys that are doing crazy numbers, they're just obsessed with continuing to gamble and play the game. And they want to win the game. And they're just competitive in a non-physical manner. Mm-hmm. And that's cool. Good for them. But I'm here to take the money and to use it for experiences so that I can have the life that I choose to have with the people I choose to have it with and when I want and how I want. That's the only reason I go for money in the first place. That is the ultimate goal,
or that is the ultimate definition to me of success.
And if it can provide value to other people, if it can help people out, then it's even more in line. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So whether it's housing or it's education or it's just being an example to our own families and other people, that's all that matters.
Speaking of families, if you're equal talking about yours?
Yeah.
It's like being a girl dad.
Dude, it's awesome. I love it. I mean, it's nothing like I don't know anything different, dude. I don't have sons, so being a girl dad, I mean, it's such a responsibility. Like something shifted in me when I realized that I had daughters. It was like I don't think I would have been the same. I think I needed to have daughters, and then God put daughters in my life.
Facts.
I probably would have been harder on a son out of the gates, but I got girls, and I was like, oh. Different mindset, and I just shifted. My wife's like, you changed, and that was the best way ever, right? Like, and so I was like, it was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love hearing it. What's been the hardest part of being a girl dad?
Dude.
So far, you don't even have the teenagers yet, but
honestly, the hardest part is just me being a dude and not understanding some of the emotional volatility.
That's a great answer.
I'm trying to understand it, but I'm like also like, bro, why did you flip out about this stuff? Like, what is wrong, you know?
That is a great answer. Yeah, that was a battle for me for a while.
But I just let it ride. I don't get like wound up about it. At the beginning, though, when my girls started to get their own, I tell people, I'm like, it was easier when they were babies. They're just babies. Feed them, poop them. They're pooping, they're cleaning, you know, you're eating. That's it. Okay, cool. Sleep them.
The parasite.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. Like, here you go. Yeah, just do the thing. And but when they become preteens, like about where mine are now, you know, or toddlers even, and they're gonna start getting mouths, you're like, dude, why are you so hateful, bro? Because as a boy, I was never hateful. I look back and I'm like, man, my dad said to do something, I would do it. I wasn't like mad about anything really like that until I got hormones at 17 and I act like an idiot. But like before that, it was like my dad would be like pissed off, like shit, I shut my mouth. I got pissed off at my daughters, and they're like running their mouth. They're like doing the, you know, so. Just like, damn, y'all are wild, bro.
It is, man.
Earlier on, and also, you know, we're always told that girls are more mature than boys are. We're always told that growing up, and I think it's true for sure. Like, they're going through different things earlier. They're thinking differently. They're processing it differently.
Their mindset.
And I was like, I just want to ramp my bike over my friend.
You got cinder blocks at your house?
Sweet.
Yeah, my dad's got plywood out back. Yeah,
I'm like, told my wife, I'm like, dude, you understand? Like, I never even processed these things.
No.
Like, and they're processing it to a deep level. And I'm like, oh, man.
We're crying over
honestly,
math.
It helps me understand my wife better, too, right? Like being
It really does. It really does, man. Because
I'll tell you what's another thing that's hard. You can attest to this. The attention. I am the only man in the house. My daughters want the attention from me. They're like, Dad, you're going to snuggle with me. Dad, you're going to do this for me. And then my wife's all over here like, oh, no, I want your attention. And I'm like, I don't have enough of me. And it's a great feeling to be wanted that much by your, the people in your family. But it's also a responsibility that's like, oh, dude, it's hard.
And then doing it equally.
And doing it differently with your wife versus your kids, right? Like your wife needs a different type of love than your kids need different types of love. And your daughters specifically, right? And so
it's.
I think where most dads fuck up that have daughters, and I've seen it over and over, like more old school mindset, or even dads that now, is that they're just not open and talk to them. I can tell you are. Like, I have no problem. They want to talk about things that are going on in their life. I'll just tell them the truth. and I'll tell them my perspectives, and I'm not embarrassed to talk about anything, whether it's sex, whether it's this. Like, I'm not even getting into that yet, but they have questions so far. Yeah. You know,
keep everything age appropriate.
The other day I could say this on camera. It's funny. My other day when her daughters come out, she's like, "Dad, I think my boob's growing," and I was like, "Oh, fuck." I was like, "Oh yeah, what makes you think that?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's kind of like her." And I'm not awkward with it, really, honestly. Like, I'm not. I don't know why. I just cool with it, whatever. I'm like, "Damn, what makes you think that?" And she's like, "Yeah, you know, one of my nipples hurts." And I was like, "All right, well, go talk to your mom. Go ask your mom to look at it and see if it'll solve it. Maybe it is." I said, and then I turned it around just because, like I said, I'm super transparent. I think it's cool. I think it's kind of like that bond I always want them to have with me. I always want them to talk about this. I don't want them to feel awkward because I'm a man. I want them to understand that that's how men really talk, like in an appropriate way. Absolutely. And I was like, well, maybe you're just going to grow one boob. And she was like, "Really?" I was like, "No, I'm just kidding with you." She's like 9, bro. But we have that kind of relationship. She was like, "Dad," like, they don't even think of that as like a sinful bad talk.
No.
They're like, "Oh, I'm just talking to my dad." No different than talking to my mom about.
They're not ashamed of it. It's not embarrassing.
Because I'm not making it a shameful deal.
No.
It's not a shameful deal, bro.
I think a lot of dads really mess up there.
Weird out on the whole, like, it's a girl parts and boy parts. I'm like, yeah, well, we're just fucking humans, bro.
I mean, dude, I've talked to dudes where they're like, "I had a hard time wiping my dog." I'm like, dude, that's your child.
Dude, if somebody says that to me, I do not respect that shit. I'm like, I do not. I'm like,
granted, I didn't do shit diapers at all. I just
you escaped the whole route.
Fuck, dude. I'd call the wife like, "Yo, far out are you?" But yeah, I just, dude, you, as a girl dad, you have to put all of your weirdness, insecurities, awkward, that all goes away. If you want to have that relationship, and then if you're making it weird, then you're putting it off to your daughter, like, "Oh, I can't go to my dad over this."
Exactly.
Or this maybe I should go, I can't. Like, let's go to mom instead. I don't ever want that.
I don't want that.
My oldest is very modest and prude. There's
good
girls.
Yeah.
And you know, my conversation with her and the youngest, I'm like, "Listen, I'm here for everything. I'm going to hear it all anyways." But there are girl things, especially when they start getting those teenage years and everything starts developing.
You want to discuss with your mom, and I'm like, I don't have any experience in this.
I can't help you.
I gotta say,
I can't help you on certain things. Everything else, you need me to murder a motherfucker?
Let's go, baby. Yeah,
got you. But periods. I don't know all that shit, dude.
It'll be awkward in our house. So I told you before, like, my wife had cervical cancer, so she had a partial hysterectomy.
Yeah.
Everything else is still in there, but she just can't have kids, and so she doesn't have periods. And so my daughters have never grown up with her having period, seeing her do the thing. So like my wife's even talked about it. We're like, dude, it's gonna be a weird learning curve because like mom's never done this. Yeah, because they don't know.
Yeah, so she's learning too.
Shit, but it's just part of it.
That's just part of being a dad, and that's what comes with the title.
We potentially looked at having another kid, right? Like I'm going through the whole process. Where it's a long process, dude, through surrogacy, especially because she can't bear the kid herself, but she still has her ovaries, and so that's a whole nother deal. Now I'm educating my kids on like, so we're gonna have a brother, but it's gonna be in that woman, and it's gonna be yours and mom's. I'm 9. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like,
how does a 9-year-old
how do you explain this, bro? And then that leads down the rabbit hole of like, well, then is that how all babies are made? And you're like, oh man, let's go inside and eat some dinner.
Dinner's ready. Yeah,
it's part of being a dad.
It is, man, and it's the greatest. It's the greatest.
Most people don't. I saw this with my father, and I wish he would discuss this more with my sister. But he did this with me too. He literally, once we hit our teen years, he kind of just shut off. He just was dad. He wasn't like, "Hey son, let's have a birds and the bees talk. Hey, you should do this. Don't be this." Like he was very like old school. Like my dad was the best dad in the world when we were little kids. My dad would take us to the job sites, sports games. My dad got me in all sorts of stuff. My dad like literally was amazing. But when we got to our own independent era where we were challenging stuff, he really pulled back. And my mom, they've had this discussion with us now that we're grown adults. But my dad and my mom was like, "You kind of left me like high and dry," even though they were still married. My dad's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go work." Like, and my mom would be like having to like deal with, "Austin, you got caught with a girl in your car the other night." Like, have these conversations that were more mature. And my dad's like, "I don't want to have those conversations."
I think that was a generational thing.
It's like you don't talk about it anymore.
They didn't know how to process that because their parents they came from
their generation.
Ass whooped.
Yes. Get out of the house.
Yeah. They were trying to get out as fast as possible. Because I would say the exact same. I had my parents still together. Incredible childhood. My dad was super involved when he worked out of town a lot, but when I became getting to that age, I mean, dude, our sex talk, I'll never forget this. We went shooting. I knew it was coming, you know?
Yeah.
I got the girlfriend and
it's usually about 2 years too late.
facts. And he takes me on this dirt. We go out the creek and we're shooting. And he's like, listen, son, I know we got to have the talk. I wanted to be like, Dad, I've already been having sex for like 2 years. Like,
You know, I figured it out. Thanks for the advice.
Yeah, I got it, Dad. I got it dialed. And he's like, you know, don't put your pee-pee in her pee-pee and everything will be fine. And I remember going, that's your sex talk?
Dude, my sex talk was based around religion. It was like, you know, you need to do it until you're married. That's all Mom would do. Mom would say, you don't need to do it until you're married. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, that left me high and dry. So that's why at 17, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm doing it all. Y'all don't know shit.
But now it's like, hey, I'm going to teach you your morals.
Correct.
I'm going to teach you your values. This is what we're going to stand on. These are going to be our goal. Like, it's so different now. Like that, I look back. I mean, I remember telling my wife about it. I'm like, because we were talking years ago. I'm like, yeah, this was my dad's sex talk. 2 years too late. Don't put your PB in her PB, and everything will be fine. I'm like,
okay.
Like I look back at it now, like, Dad, yeah, that's probably the one area where we should have been ahead of the game on. I mean, everything else you nailed, but it was that era. Like as soon as we started getting that testosterone, I felt like my dad would just, hey, I got to spread my wings and fly, and so.
But as a father now of the daughters, you asked about it, so I think also full circle is like growing with them, knowing that they're going to be different next month and next year and stuff. So I enjoy that. You can't expect them. I think that's kind of what our dads expect. Oh, they're our kids, and nope, he's like, we'll talk to him when he's 30.
Yep. Yeah,
so it's like growing with them, dude. You know, they're going to go through changes and be different and have different experiences through this world, and so then they're going to be. Then we need to grow with that too, because I'm a new parent. My mom put it in perspective way down the road. She goes, I've never been a parent of a 38-year-old. I was like, fuck, that's true. Like I've never been a parent of a 10-year-old. Mm-hmm. Now next year I will. I've never been a parent of an 11-year-old, you know? So it's like, she's like, so it made me realize having parents now that are in their more retirement era. And then my kids, it's like, oh, we're always going to be learning. Like they've never had kids that lived in California. They never had kids that moved, or a son that was in the Marine Corps. I know that was really hard on my mom.
Yeah.
I wanted to get deployed. So like,
100%.
Like it broke her. I didn't know. She held it together, but like it was a big deal. It was like, she told me years later, and I was like, well, now I know why. Of course, I'm a parent, you know?
Yeah. Terrifying.
Yeah. She tried to like have serious talks with me. She was like, so if like Austin, I just wanted to have this talk. My mom's really transparent. She was more so there when it came to that type of stuff. And she's like, so if something happens to you when you're on overseas, like, how are we going to handle this? Like if you get fucking arms blown off, if you like, like you make it back and you're still alive, but you may be fucked up.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, if I get my legs blown off, I'll just get like fucking go-go gadget legs or some shit. I like joked it off, and she was like laughed it off, but that's the only conversation we had. But my mom was like telling me when they visited us last out in San Diego, she's like, no, I was like serious, like, cause I wanted to like know. My mom's like overthinking with that stuff, and I'm like, I see why now.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
at 18, 19, I was like, I don't give a fuck.
I'll be good.
But I died.
I'll be good.
You know?
My time is my time.
Yeah, that's right. My ticket's punched. My ticket's punched. So I took it, you know?
Now I'm like, oh, God, don't careful riding your bike.
Yeah, I know.
Put a helmet on.
Yeah.
You know?
So bad. We live in this weird era where as parents, we know, and the world is so gross out there now. We're attached to the world, and we're like, there's fucking predators. There's all these bad people. There's people getting snatched up in San Diego or in Texas that go to Tijuana. They get taken to Mexico, and they're like trafficking. And at the same time, we also want our kids to have some kind of like 1995 experience, and we want them to be able to do things. And it's just a fucked up deal.
It's tough, man. And like, I'm with you because we were the last generation to grow up without a phone. So we had all the freedoms. We had the Rolodex. Dude, I remember the little dial fucking
phone.
My
grandma had the dial. Yeah.
Like all that shit. And then now
first time we talked to people was AOL chat, dog.
Dial up, bro.
You got your handle. You could be like fake handle and make up names.
All the noises it would make sending back and forth.
Yeah.
I had to go to my buddy's house for it. I didn't even have
to talk to chicks when you didn't want to talk to them in person. Hey,
what's up? Yeah. It was the original Snap. Dude, that's hilarious. I forgot about that shit, but that's how we grew up. And but I feel you though, because now all these kids are they're just put in a bubble because there's all these predators. You got all the watchdog apps, and it shows you all your predators in your neighborhood, and you're going through and looking, and
too much.
Dude, and then it's like, okay, now you hear about these kids. Like, I think I just heard a thing where in Florida, they just found like 60 missing kids.
Yeah, it's
and nobody's saying anything. So it's out there, but I mean, so then we're in this torn position where I want my kids to have the freedom that I had growing up, where we would be on the river for 2 days and not even have a cell phone to call our parents.
Exactly.
And we just show back up at home, and like I would be.
How was it?
Bro, we send her to church camp and we're losing our shit now. And we can track her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Times have changed. And it's like so it's so hard as a parent to try to find that
happy medium
where you want your kids to be able to experience freedom. You want them to have that little taste, but at the same time, dude, the world is scary.
I mean, just my wife and I both agreed, and I mean, I would love to hear her take on this, but we just don't even allow our kids to stay the night with somebody else.
No.
But like that was something we did all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be at your house, like Mom, I'll use a Bam's house again. You know what I mean? Like,
I would just call and be like,
"Hey, I'm 64 till my eyes bleed, and then we go ride our bikes somewhere." I don't know. You know? So
yes, now they have what do they call them now, a kid? What is it? Instead of sleepovers, like
spindovers or like no.
Lateovers.
Oh, lateovers. But the same shit will happen. It's like the older brother or the weird game or the other stuff. Like that's where it comes from. Or the dad.
Sucks though, bro. Now because I mean now it's.
I think what we've realized, and this goes. I mean, we're gonna fucking cook up 3 hours here, but my point is like
wrap it up.
It goes back to what I think one of the biggest issues is that we have in the United States is that we've lost our foundational morals and values.
Facts.
Because you can't trust somebody. Not saying that somebody back then wouldn't have done bad things, but there was still an air of morals and values. You didn't worry about all the things that we know now.
Neighbors knew neighbors, bro.
They did.
We just met a neighbor the other day, and we've been here for almost a decade. Like
exactly.
You know?
Why
now people look and like I mean we got these kids moving. I hope that they don't watch this on the podcast, but these kids moving behind us, and I'm out there and like they're in their back. They won't even acknowledge me, and I'm like, "What's up?" Like I have to like, "Hey," and like say it like 3 or 4 times. Yeah. Because I want to know who these young kids are. Like, here's a squash, here's a honeycomb, like here you want some bread. That's just who we are as neighbors, but they won't even acknowledge it. And like they come out back and they just like stare at the ground. I'm like those days are done. Like and I'm sure there's communities that are super tight. I know there are, you know, we have them here where everybody knows everybody, the golf cart communities.
Pros and cons to that too, bro.
Yeah. So I'm cool with my little space.
Yeah, that's the same.
But it's like, dude, this country has lost morals, value. I mean, look what we're fighting over.
Yeah.
Look what we're divided. The dumbest shit we're divided over.
Things that we never thought we would even be challenged.
And now we're challenging them, and we're sitting back like, why is this a thing?
Yeah, exactly. But and the question is it really a thing, or is it just the media arm so big that we think it's a thing?
It's all propaganda.
I think so. But it's there, right? But the propaganda turns from propaganda to reality.
But why are we so focused on Trump doing something, but we don't even hear about 60 children that were found in a fucking trench under the ground in this tunnel?
And why? And what was the case? And how did that happen?
Where did they come from? Where does 60 kids just pop up? And they said a huge chunk of them were pregnant.
What?
Under the age of 18, and a lot of these kids were pregnant. They find these, like, why is this not national news? Why isn't that what we're coming together as a country on? But instead, every little thing that Trump does or Biden did or Obama, that
doesn't matter. Yeah,
they're pushing something. It's all propaganda, man. Like they get us to focus on because divide and conquer.
We thought we knew what I think we just were blissfully blind for a long time in the 90s. I think that's all it was. Is we finally are waking up, and the waking up to the reality of it is not as hunky-dory, right? It's not the 1980s.
Well, and I think that the problem of everybody waking up now is everybody's waking up in whatever algorithm you're fed.
100%.
And now, instead of all of us waking up as a country being like, man,
we should come together and change this.
Our government is killing us. Our government's against us. Our government doesn't love your children. Our government is destroying the common home of a co-parenting household. Everybody under one roof. They're dividing, and instead of that, where we got transgenders screaming in the streets. We got women screaming for rights to be able to murder babies in the womb. And dude, it's all this shit. And you see this, and it's like, this is what the greatest country in the world. This is what we're bitching over. It's insane. Why aren't we bitching over the fucking 35% tax?
Yeah.
Why are we not coming together this is how stupid we are as a nation, I feel.
Oh, it's horrible, bro.
We are willing to fight for illegal immigrants that came. I'm 100% for immigration. We fought for those rights.
Agreed.
I'm sure you agree with me.
And the Marine Corps is full of a lot of Hispanics, bro. A lot.
And we had guys in our platoon that were trying to get their green card and join the Marine Corps.
Man, slap them, and those are badass dudes.
I respect it, right?
Respect that.
But here we are protesting, burning down cities to allow illegals, which we could see all the statistics from around the world of how it doesn't work.
Oh, it's going
But
bad.
Instead, why aren't we protesting in these masses and doing the violence that these motherfuckers are doing over an illegal for our taxes?
Good question. For the money that you work for. Because we're just so acclimated to it.
we're so comfortable. But then what the media tells you that's wrong, and then this is what we need to be bitch over. That's what it is. You don't think right now if the media turned the script and we're like, taxes, we're being raped.
Like, yeah.
Bro, we would be burning establishments to the ground.
Man. It's too easy to manipulate the population, honestly.
And this is the stage I'm at in my life where I watch this and I'm like, this is what you're bitching over? Yeah, I can't align with you.
Nope.
Not politically wise. It's just in general. Like, you're worried about that. You realize what's actually happening.
The real thing is they're like boiling a frog, dude. You've heard this theory of boiling a frog, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so if you put a frog in a pot and then it's boiling, you throw the frog into the boiling water, the frog will jump right out. If you put a frog into cold water and then you turn the heat on and you boil it slowly, the frog won't jump out and it'll die and burn itself in there. And so what we're doing is we're essentially boiling a frog slowly. And so that it stays in there and you don't jump out, because it's never painful enough to make you get right out. But if you go from zero to boiling, you're fucking bam, it's jumping out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in there, it's like, oh, it's just getting a little warmer. It's just getting a little warmer. It's just getting a little warmer. Next thing you know, you're cooked.
It's a perfect way to put it.
That's exactly what happens. That's what's happened to us as a society.
And we're comfortable. We're fat. We're lazy.
Tax. Well, you know what? At least it's not this. And they said it's for good things.
Yeah.
Well, that's 15% tax. Well, it's for good things and this and that. Well, it's 20%. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's constantly something else that's like, think about why all these things get passed and people will root for them, and they don't understand how bills really work.
No.
And so when bills go through, they'll only tell you what it's good for. They're like, oh, well, everybody should be able to bake bread in their house, and do their thing and be an entrepreneur. So this bill that we're passing is allowing people to do that without certain regulations. But attached to that bill is 15 other fucking things that allow some horrid shit to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else to make money off of the backs of others. And they don't understand that. They think it's like, oh, no, it's just this bill, so he must be a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, it's just what he's saying.
It's scary, man.
It's full bullshit.
It's sad to watch, especially when your mind starts thinking like that. Because you also think different, being in like an entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah, you're forced to.
You have to think different. Oh, fuck, taxes, the tariffs are going to affect this. That's getting imported. Everything is affected. So that's when I feel a lot of businessmen all lean a certain way, because your mind has to look at things different. Not, oh, all right, honey, here's my check from this week. Oh, they took out $480 in taxes. Yeah, sucks. And they just go about their business. But then the economy, Trump's economy, Biden's economy.
It's always something.
Dude, that's all they say.
Yep.
But when you're grinding for every dollar and every penny, you're like, fuck tax. Okay, I gotta write this off. I have to learn how to do this. I mean, there's a bunch of loopholes that help you, but that's what comes with that mindset of
100%.
Working for yourself.
That's why you can easily smell the dumbass goons in the comments on Instagram or any of the videos that you post, and they're like, oh, they know it all, they talk trash and all this, but you're like, you've never been an entrepreneur, you've never done your own taxes, you don't know anything about business, and you don't know anything about this stuff. You're just a zombie and you believe what you're told.
Mm-hmm.
And it's freaking crazy.
It is.
So,
well, dude, I appreciate the conversation.
Of course, absolutely.
This was great. You were on my. I knew. Exactly. I just wanted to have this conversation. It was great. I guess before we finish up, what do you got cooking? Anything?
Yeah, dude. So that's what I'm doing. My objective is to really build the foundation of men. Like I taught a lot of people, and people have made a lot of money learning real estate specifically. But what would happen is people would sign up and work with me for real estate, and then I would realize on our calls that this guy was needing marriage counseling. This guy was needing to lose weight. This guy was needing to move out from his divorced relationship or whatever. Or even sometimes people would sign up and they'd be moving out of their parents' house and they'd be at 30 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you thought you were going to go get into real estate investing, but you haven't even moved out of your mom's house? I wouldn't know that going in. They'd just spend the money and get in.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm saying is I realized that the biggest problem and the biggest hole we have is something that we talked about pretty much the whole podcast, which is men need to step up and be leaders in all facets, and that they can have it all, but it starts with themselves.
Yep.
And so that's what I built, and it's called the Apex Group, and I'm building the community right now. And so if you guys are interested in the community, it's austinhancock.com, or you can hit me on Instagram at austin.hancock1, or any of my other socials, bro. And I'm more passionate about it because I can teach you how to make money in real estate. I can teach you how to do these things, but it's very tactical. But when you change somebody's whole entire thought process and the character and the confidence that they have as a man, it spreads like a cancer in a good way. And then things change for them in all of the realms of their life.
That's the best way to put it. It spreads like cancer in a good way. Once that fire starts and it just catches.
One of my good buddies that I was in the Marine Corps with, he's my driver. But he jumped in the program, and he freaking went from 300-pound cop in Oklahoma. And he's like 5'8", bro. 300-pound police officer in Podunk, Oklahoma, making $50,000 a year. Never did anything else since we got out. He was a cop. Mm-hmm. He did that. Got huge. Sons play football. Eats the whole Oklahoma diet basically.
Oh yeah.
I got him in it. And he dropped 75 pounds. And dude, not only this, he sent me a text the other day. This almost made me to tears. He literally was like, bro, I just want to thank you so much. It's not just about me losing weight and helping me out with all that stuff, but it was also about like my boys have lost 15 plus pounds apiece because they're just like,
because they're watching
little football boys. He goes, and my wife is walking and getting on a diet now. And he goes, and this is what's even more important. He goes,
that chills, dude.
That's the same for me, because he's like, dude, he's one of the guys that when I was in the car with my parents that I was like crying. I'm like, dude, he was my rack mate in Iraq.
Yeah.
And he goes, I started a business and I think I'm gonna quit in the next year of what I'm doing. He's like, it like compounds, and I'm like, that's what I wish everybody fucking knew. And so I'm like passionate about that because like, yeah, sure, I can teach you how to make 40 grand on real estate. That's cool. I can teach you that. And at the end of the day, I'm just gonna get bored. I mean, it is what it is. But if you can teach someone to like change their life in that direction, bro,
that's the ultimate. That's why I get like goosebumps because we've lived it.
Yes, exactly.
And you know how it feels, and then the fact that you can explain somebody in the process of it, like no bullshit goosebumps, bro. Like you can see the hair standing on my arms because you know what that feels like. And then as the man of the house, he's now feeling good.
Yep.
His kids are watching him.
My sons go to the gym with me now. He even said this in his text, and I could show this to anybody. He literally says, I'm not riding their ass at all. He goes, it's amazing what happens when the man of the house steps up and becomes the example. He goes, I did not say a word or force anybody else to do anything, but everybody started following along. And I said, I know. That's why it's so fucking important for people to really get that.
Your wife is watching. Your children are watching.
This is the reason I started this. I know it's fucking all the way almost the end, but this is super important,
You're
bro.
good, bro.
Do you know how many guys sit and tell their wives every fucking night some bullshit pillow talk about how they're going to change their lives, they're going to get them the house, they're going to do the car, they're going to quit the job, one day they're going to make it, and then they wake up and repeat the same fucking day for the next fucking 45, 50 years. That's the reason she doesn't want you to spend money on a program. That's the reason she doesn't want you to do anything. That's the reason she doesn't trust you to go hunting with your boys, because you have done nothing but fucking lie to her the entire time you've been married. Baby, we're going to be millionaires. We're going to do it one day. I'm just going to figure it out. Every fucking night she's heard you say this. Every December she hears you talk about losing weight. And guess what? I wouldn't believe you either. Yeah. Would you believe you? Because you haven't done anything.
You don't believe you.
You don't. And you tell her this stuff. And fucking 10 years down the road, she's seen the same repeat rerun. That's what's sad. And it only takes such little things. And so do your kids. And they're embarrassed, bro. Like, they don't even know it yet, but they're embarrassed.
I heard a guy say, and I truly believe this, that your children will figure out who you really are.
Oh yeah. Do we not evaluate our parents just now on this podcast talking about it? Like, we look back.
You can sit and play the act of some alpha dude in your home, and some
bro vet that got out. Talk about your time in the Marine Corps. Going back to what you said, it becomes nothing.
But your kids will eventually get to the point where they're gonna start looking at other successful people, males, females, whatever it may be. But your kids will figure out who you truly are. And if you lie to yourself and you're constantly trying to validate something and right, and I'm going to do this one day, they're going to grow up one day and be like, damn, dude, dad always talked about it.
He never was about it. Yep.
Bro, and that goes back to my statement. I would rather have my kids watch me fail and figure it out and get back on my feet and fail again and fail again. And then we might strike something, or something might ride for a little bit, whatever it may be.
My dad just never stopped.
They're watching. You just can't stop, man.
Yeah, you can't stop that guy.
It's sad, dude. I see it with dads all the time. And I'm like, you want to be that dad that comes home, cracks a beer, I need my time, and crushes, I need my nightcap.
Yeah,
that's
all
the example. That's the example that you're setting for your kids.
Yep.
Instead of when they're getting up in the morning, you're walking in from the gym.
Yep. Exactly what
you know how nice it is, and I'm sure your daughters do it, dude. My daughters will lay on me, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, Dad,
your arms, 100%.
You're bigger than every dad I've ever met." You know how that feels?
Dude, one time my daughter woke up. It feels amazing, dude. You're their hero. You're the superhero, and it's not fake because they're young. It's because it's real.
Well,
you realize that you'll be that way for a while.
You ask my 11-year-old right now, and I probably could be wrong, but I've told her that I could lift the house my whole entire life.
Yeah, hell yeah,
my whole life.
Hell yeah.
That's a superhero. She's telling her friends, "My dad can lift the house." I'm like, "Oh fuck, we got to toe down on this when she's little, you know."
Yep.
But it's just because that's how your children look at you. You are the most incredible thing in their world, but you want to be that dad that comes home and fucking drinks a beer. I gotta have my nightcap.
Here's the thing, bro. It's you would not want. Why would you not want to teach your kids how to make more money and to have a better life for themselves?
Set them up.
And how to feed themselves without getting fat and giving them crippling freaking insecurities. Like, why would you not? And the best way you can do it is to be an example.
Yeah.
Like, if my girls ever say, "Oh, I'm getting fat," I'll be like, "Well, you know how to solve it, so don't fucking talk to me about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. And I'd be like, well, you're not, of course. I'm not trying to do that, but I'm also not going to sugarcoat shit. If they really are, I'll be like, hey,
let's go move our bodies.
Well, let's move our bodies. You should stop eating this every night or whatever. And then be like, I guess you're right. Like, give them the tools to solve the problem. But don't like, you have to show them first. You have to first.
The example.
Have you ever seen the dads that like want their kids to be like some sports star, but then themselves are a fat piece of shit?
Every day.
It drives me crazy.
Every day.
Who are you to talk about anything?
Who are you to yell
You can make a lot of money one day, Jimmy. Shut the fuck up, bro. You haven't done anything. Who are you to tell them that? Nothing. You've done nothing. Like your opinion is invalid.
100%. That's where it goes back to your kids will figure out who you are.
1,000%.
They will.
They're
going to know exactly the type of dad you were.
Yep.
And that terrified me for like
same.
My kids. I want my kids to figure out who I am.
It's something we talked about in the truck earlier too, or I think yesterday, and I was like, well, there is no way I'm going to cheat on my wife. Because my daughters would murder me. Oh, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bro. Like, the dude, just to have the repercussions of that, knowing that my dad was a huge sleazy piece of shit and left my mom, even though we had a great life, like, you ain't never living that down, bro.
Here I am teaching everything that I'm teaching my daughters.
Everything you say goes right out the window when it happens.
You're invalid at this point.
Completely.
Invalid. I love it, dude. I think that's a perfect way to end this, talking about.
Thanks for having me on,
super
bro.
Passionate about being dad, and it's great to see a father, an entrepreneur, a veteran that's out living and thriving. That's what puts a smile on my face. I root for every single person that I see, especially veterans that are doing it, because it's so easy for us to be this statistic, this disabled vet, whatever we want to pick after. And that goes for law enforcement, firefighters, whatever it may be. You're the prime example of changing your identity, getting your life on track, no matter what the hurdles may be. Just don't stop. And then it works.
It does work.
Everything pans out. And the people that know the fuck, I'm homeless on the streets. You just quit.
Yep.
You stopped. You gave up. You just can't. And like I said earlier, I've known billionaires that are fucking idiots, but they just never stopped.
That's
and
it.
there they are. And so it's just how bad do you want it? It's not going to be there overnight, but you're a perfect success story. I know.
We're still moving, baby.
100%. I know you ain't. Yeah. I know we ain't there yet, but
it is.
And you're still writing your own script. But I appreciate the conversation, man. This was great. This is the shit that people need to hear, especially men need to hear this. So, anybody reaching out we'll get all that tagged for you.
Yes, please.
I appreciate the conversation, and we'll definitely be sending some people your way. I know we've had some other guys on that it's helped them quite a bit, but. This is great, man. I appreciate your time. This is why I'll do this. I just love a genuine conversation and get to know people.
Hell yeah, bro.
Thanks, dude.
Of course.
I appreciate you.
Sick, dude. Murdered
on the fucking dot.
Damn. 3 hours on the dot.
See how fast it goes?
It does go so fast.